News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 5:02. I'm Manda Factor, and here's what's happening. Seattle hosts its first ever World Cup match today at Seattle Stadium, formerly Lumen Field. It's arriving on a wave of summer heat. A heat advisory is in effect. Forecasters say the warm weather will stick around much of the week. Seattle police investigating 2 stabbings in the Little Saigon neighborhood. Detectives say 2 men were found wounded near 10th and South Weller Street last night. Both are in critical condition at Harborview. Police are also looking into a death at Haller Lake in North Seattle. Crews pulled a body from the water yesterday afternoon. Detectives believe it's a 35-year-old man reported missing the day before. And the Mariners get their slugger back. Cal Raleigh expected to rejoin the team tomorrow after crushing 5 home runs on his rehab stint in Tacoma. It's 5:03, time for a check on the roads on this early Monday morning. Boy, it's going to be a busy day around here. Ted Beener is in for Sully. Good morning.
Good morning. You know, and I'm curious, how many people have left town after high school graduations?
Oh, my goodness.
Right? They just want to avoid Seattle during this, this World Cup issues. And that's what we're seeing right now. There are no reported blocking issues at this time throughout the Puget Sound region. We got speed limit drives overall. Some drive times, Everett to Seattle and Bellevue, both of those are just under a half hour. Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is only 32 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle, 35 minutes. Puyallup to Renton, that drive time is just 25 minutes, while the drive from Renton to Bellevue is just 12 minutes. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Beener.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
It's now 5:04. On this morning's edition of Start Here, we break down the ceasefire agreement between the U.S. and Iran. Here's host Brad Milkey.
President Trump has this habit. Throughout the Iran war, the pattern has been make a threat, issue a deadline, and then right as that deadline arrives, announce that progress is being made on a potential ceasefire. No need to follow through with the threat.
If we don't get the right answers, it goes very quickly. We're all ready to go. We have to get the right answers.
Well, late last week, after a series of military actions with Iran, President Trump said the U.S. might be taking Karg Island, seizing land in the Persian Gulf that Iran claims as its own. That would be a huge escalation, a significant military maneuver. Well, then just as suddenly, Trump announced that the U.S. and Iran were on the precipice of a ceasefire deal.
It'll be soon. Maybe this weekend.
And has the Supreme Leader approved this deal, sir?
I understand the answer is yes.
Now, because of what I just said earlier, that might not have meant a whole lot to many Americans. Like, sure, there's a deal. I'll believe it when I see it. But this time, sources were telling us that diplomats were shuttling back and forth, finalizing the language of an agreement. There were hiccups throughout the weekend, military strikes by Israel, outrage in Lebanon and Iran. There were delays after delays. But last night, word came out from multiple sources that these countries had reached an agreement. The stalemate that has choked the Middle East from the rest of the world might be resolved. ABC's chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz starts us off from Jerusalem there in the Middle East. Martha, how did this deal come together and what have we learned about it?
It came down very late. The administration was angry. President Trump was very angry earlier in the day because Israel had bombed Lebanon, and President Trump thought that would completely mess up the deal. He really was outraged. He was outraged at Benjamin Netanyahu. Why did you do this sort of thing right before we might make a deal? So it was very precarious there for a while. The administration seemed to say, look, we're going to get it eventually. And I think people thought, yeah, in a couple of days. But then suddenly, and it first came out of the Pakistan's prime minister, that a deal had been reached, that there were intensive negotiations. And then you heard from Donald Trump, a big birthday present for him, saying the deal with the Islamic Republic of Iran is now complete. Congratulations to all. And he said they would open the Strait of Hormuz and remove the United States naval blockade. Ships of the world, he said, start your engine. So also adding, let the oil flow. And the strait will open quickly, but they will have to check for mines. But I think the thing to remember here, Brad, is this is the very beginning. This is a memorandum of understanding between these two countries. President Trump has said, they promise not to have a nuclear weapon, but they really have a long way to go on this.
Right. So when we say deal, I feel like when people hear it's a deal, they think, handshakes, they think peace treaties being signed, they think like enforced by law. That's not necessarily what's happening here, at least not yet. What has to happen next?
What has to happen next is the details, the dirty details, and that is where all the work will have to happen. You can say, yeah, I will never have a nuclear weapon. That's what the JCPOA under President Obama, also the Iranians said that as well. But it's the details. How are we going to get out the enriched uranium? Will we get out the enriched uranium? Will they agree to that? What about sanctions relief? The president has said no cash will be exchanged, but the Iranians certainly want sanctions relief, and they want some unfrozen assets as well.
Martha, you mentioned this almost all came crashing down over the weekend because it seemed that Israel was firing on Hezbollah targets in Lebanon, and these were, near Beirut. Iran was furious. A lot of the Middle East was furious, and apparently President Trump was furious. Axios said he went on this profanity-laden tirade about Benjamin Netanyahu. I guess I bring that up because is there a chance this could still fall apart, whether by the actions of Israel or some other, third party?
Oh, I think there's a pretty good chance of that. I don't think this is a deal that Benjamin Netanyahu particularly likes. I mean, they are very, very concerned about how this ends, and they want the tightest possible agreement with Iran. And I think there is some concern that President Trump wants a deal so badly. He wants this to be over as quickly as possible, that it might not be the deal that Israel wants.
Right. And it's an interesting point you brought up that, like, if part of the deal is, hey, Iran promises not to have a nuclear weapon, that would have been part of any deal, because Iran continues to say we've never had a nuclear weapon. Our nuclear program is to be peaceful. If the deal includes like the Strait of Hormuz will be open, that is not different from where we were a few months ago. And yet that would be a really significant step forward from where we are today. Martha Raddatz, thank you.
You bet, Brad.
This weekend included several examples of just how intertwined the Trump administration is with President Donald Trump, the person. Like last night, there was this huge Ultimate Fighting Championship event on the South Lawn of the White House. Remember, this was a made-for-TV event that coincided with Trump's 80th birthday and was organized by Trump's friend and longtime supporter, UFC boss Dana White. When it was all said and done, though, it took tens of millions of taxpayer dollars for security to make this happen on White House grounds. Meanwhile, across town, the Trump administration had insisted that the Trump name go up alongside John F. Kennedy's at the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. But this weekend, a judge's order forced workers to take down Trump's name. And while those are striking visual examples of Trump's personal predilections playing out in government, perhaps the most impactful move this weekend had to do with the AI company Anthropic. The question from some analysts is whether this was a policy decision or personal one. ABC senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is in D.C. right now. Selena, just last week, we were talking about Anthropic releasing this really anticipated AI model to the general public. This weekend, they took it down, they say, because of the Trump administration. What's going on?
Yeah, Brad, this is a really big deal. So as you said, it was just days ago that Anthropic rolled out this highly anticipated model, their most powerful one ever, a whole new tier they've named Mythos Class, with a public-facing version called Fable 5. So it was a big leap beyond anything they'd released to the general public before.
Fable is one of the most aligned models that we've ever released. We continue to produce AI safety and AI alignment work constantly.
But then on Friday, Anthropic says the U.S. government stepped in, that the government issued what's called an export control directive, telling Anthropic it couldn't let any foreign national access these new models, citing national security, but not giving detail on what those concerns were, according to Anthropic. And here's the catch. To actually comply with that, Anthropic said it had to shut the models down for everyone, not just foreign nationals. So basically what happened over the weekend was that some of the most powerful AI models in the world just went dark for the worldwide public.
Wow. So how big? I mean, I don't know enough about my AI models, I guess, but that seems significant. How big is that?
This is a really big deal. Now, again, Anthropic says the government didn't provide specific details about why they wanted them to shut this model down for foreign nationals, but said it thinks the government had become aware of a method called jailbreaking or bypassing the safety guardrails of their advanced model. Now, their view, though, is that it wasn't as serious as the government made it, and that it was a simple issue that they were referring to, and that it didn't require such dramatic action. But There was an earlier version of Mythos called Mythos Preview that had alarmed Washington and Wall Street when it was unveiled back in April over concerns that it could be used by hackers to break into financial and healthcare networks. So Anthropic only rolled that out to a small group of trusted partners under this program called Project Glasswing, which was done in collaboration with the U.S. government. So Anthropic's argument is that they've been working with the U.S. government leading up to this rollout to the general public. So that newer Mythos 5 that was released just days ago, that was only released to a small group, and it's Fable 5 that had been made public.
Well, this is the thing. The Trump administration has said, these are our reasons, this is our rationale for doing this. But it's also been all about accelerating the U.S. as a place for AI innovation.
Because we're leading China, we're leading everybody in the world with AI, and we want to keep it that way.
But this White House has also been at odds with Anthropic, specifically over limitations that Anthropic wanted to put on the Pentagon using their stuff. So I guess the question is this a national security concern, or was this punishment for an American tech company that wouldn't comply with the Pentagon?
Well, it's really unclear. And Anthropic has one argument, to your point, while the government has another. Although I will say, I've reached out repeatedly to the White House and have yet to get any comment from them. So a lot of this information we're getting from Anthropic's own public statement. And again, Anthropic saying this action is not the right one to deal with this issue, warning that if this becomes the standard behavior, it doesn't just stop Anthropic, it stops everybody, and it would freeze the industry. So they're framing this as something much bigger. Earlier this year, the Pentagon deemed Anthropic a supply chain risk over this battle over how its models could be used in warfare, and that litigation is still ongoing.
We just stood up to the Department of War because we were concerned about using models in ways that might undermine democracy, and we were legal action was taken against us by the department because of that, and we stood up to that.
I will say that this latest move from the administration has left some tech experts stunned. There's one named Dean Ball. He's a senior fellow at the Foundation for American Innovation. And he wrote the following, quote, "It is just baffling an administration whose posture is that we should export advanced AI chips to China, which also wants to ban Britain and every other non-American on earth from using our best models. I have no words. I can't tell if this is lawfare against Anthropic in particular or extreme national security hawkery. Regardless, it is simply cartoonish."
Really, yeah, lawfare being like warfare just through legal action. Wow. Really interesting moments here. Selena Wang covering the White House. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
That's ABC's Brad Milkey. It's 5:14. Check on the forecast now. We do have a heat advisory in effect. We're looking for a high of 90 for today. A few high clouds, but otherwise lots of sunshine. 59 overnight, and then we're going to cool way down to 75 for tomorrow. Rest of the week, it looks like we'll be in the mid-70s. Maybe 80 on Friday, but no rain in the forecast. It's going to be lots of sun, a few clouds here and there, but highs around 80. Right now in Seattle, the sun is coming up at 65 degrees. Coming up, a look at unlikely fans of the World Cup. More from ABC's Brad Milkey on part 2 of the Start Here program. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
KIRO Newsradio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, "I understand there may be a news story coming out."
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO Newsradio. 97.3 FM.
The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day for baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. Case in point, your ticket might be for the view level, but it's more like Skyline City. Up here, it's hard to say what'll take your breath away first. The gorgeous Seattle sunsets or the spectacular views of every incredible play. If you like value with a view, it's the perfect place to take quality time with the family to a whole new level. Literally.
A bases clearing, 3-run double. Everybody on their feet. Here it at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
With Mariners Value Games, you can score tickets starting under $12 on select dates all summer, including this week's series against the Orioles, tomorrow through Thursday. Plus, on Thursday's series finale, the first 15,000 fans score a Mariners Stars and Stripes soccer jersey, thanks to Alaska Airlines. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, hosted by Open Road RV, free parking and admission.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, CM Heating has one of the best offers I've heard this summer. Right now, you can get any size high-efficiency AC system for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront costs. And here's the game changer. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program includes lifetime repairs, annual maintenance, and even filters at no additional charge ever. Go to cmheating.com and schedule your free estimate online today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. It's 5:19. It is Monday, June 15th. The first World Cup match in Seattle kicks off at noon today. More now from ABC's Brad Milkey. This morning's edition of Start Here, not in Algeria anymore. How Lawrence, Kansas became Algeria's biggest World Cup fans.
There were a ton of huge sports stories this weekend. You probably know the Knicks won the NBA Finals for the first time in 50 years. Cue insane crowds converging in the streets of New York. Luckily, everything around here is still standing. Carolina won the Stanley Cup, and at the World Cup, Team USA emphatically won its first game 4-1. But none of those are my favorite sports story of the week. This one is. Where is Lawrence and what's it like?
Yeah, Lawrence, Kansas is the home of the University of Kansas. We're about 40 miles directly west of Kansas City, right off of I-70.
This is Ruth DeWitt. She works for the Tourism Board of Lawrence, Kansas. Population about 100,000. Not small, but not huge. Every team at the World Cup has to choose a home base for their squad. A place to stay, train, relax between games. Algeria is playing a couple games in Kansas City. Plus, they reportedly wanted a hotel with a pool where the coaches could also smoke. They picked the DoubleTree in Lawrence, Kansas. Despite the fact that they couldn't rent out the whole thing, their players would be sharing this hotel with regular Kansas guests. And immediately, Ruth said, the town got excited. When the players showed up last week, they were greeted by hundreds of Algerian fans.
It was the most joyous atmosphere you could ever imagine.
But by Kansans wearing the red, white, and green of their new favorite team. Our affiliate KMBC was covering these crowds' growing excitement in real time.
It's unbelievable. The fact that it's in our backyard is insane.
Welcome to the greatest love affair of this World Cup, Algeria and Lawrence. When the team arrived for its first training session, they were greeted by a school band that had learned the national anthem. At audios from Blake Airney, people even showed up having learned how to root on the team in their native tongue.
We had French lessons, we had Arabic lessons,
Really?
We had, Arabic films and cultural discussions. We already have about 5 halal restaurants in town. We just went all in for the greens.
But Ruth wasn't stopping with getting Americans hyped. She was also determined to make Algerian fans welcome.
Thank you so much for Ruth to make me stay. It's like, it's a hard house.
This is Wassini Souarid, a diehard fan of the Algerian national team who has traveled to Lawrence to watch his team and is now staying in Ruth's house.
I feel it's like I'm in Algeria. You see, I see a lot of flags, Algerian flags, make me feel it's like I am in my country.
Apparently, he and Ruth had started corresponding back when Lawrence was announced as this base camp.
And I said, you can stay with us. So he is here, and we are just thrilled that he's here.
Do you have a favorite Kansas food so far?
I will try maybe it's like barbecue, something like that.
And while Wassini is from Algeria, he actually moved to the U.S. 10 years ago. He lives in Minnesota, where he works an office job while studying to be an addiction counselor, but he will go anywhere for his team. For Algerians back in Africa, though, it's been difficult to get here.
They had a very lengthy visa process, and they were assessed a bond, a very expensive bond. So it was very difficult for Algerians to travel here from Algeria, I think has been driving a lot of this fandom.
They will make the noise that some of these Algerians cannot make for themselves here in the States.
That's right. That's right. So we are their fan base. Because we're afraid that some of their fan base couldn't make it.
In the meantime, Algerians have been teaching American fans their customs, while Kansas Jayhawks fans have introduced them to our culture, including a brand new repurposed chant. Instead of Rock Chalk Jayhawk,
Rock Chalk Algeria.
The talk of this town is Algeria. Meanwhile, Wassini says if you tune into any Algerian television this week, all you'll be hearing about is scenes from Lawrence, Kansas.
The first goal of sport anyway, and, meet people from different culture and, so that's good for me.
And this is the wonder that is specific to the World Cup. Like even in the Olympics, the entire world comes to one city for weeks. It's a hodgepodge. Here, 1 or 2 countries descend on a city at a time. That is a true cultural exchange. It's why we've now seen Ohio cops leading chants for Egyptians. It's why we've seen Spanish superstar Lamine Yamal pushing a full cart through a local Walmart because his team's base camp is in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Welcome to America, everyone. We're happy to have you.
ABC's Brad Milkey. First Seattle match kicks off at noon today, Belgium versus Egypt. It's 5:24. Checking our forecast. Just some high clouds for today. It is going to be toasty. Heat advisory in effect. We're looking for a high of 90 today. Warmer away from the water and in the south end around Olympia, Chehalis. For tomorrow, we'll cool way down and be pleasant again. 75 tomorrow. Mostly sunny Wednesday. Again, 75. We'll be in the upper 70s as we wrap up the week for Thursday and Friday. But lots of sunshine this week. Right now in Seattle, it is sunny or starting to be. It's 65 degrees. Coming up, the day's top stories and consumer man Herb Weisbaum on how to avoid paying overdraft fees from your bank. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Spring is here, and it's time to call Integrity Roofing and Construction, your trusted local roofing team. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected all season long. Spike O'Neill here. Visit IntegrityRC.com to schedule a free roof assessment and video inspection today. Serving our community with over 10 years experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with everything from simple roof repair to full renovation. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com or call 206-202-ROOF.
If you're over 62 and feeling more financial pressure every month, you are not alone. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. I hear from seniors all the time who love their home, want to stay in it, but are worried about how far their money will go. Property taxes are up, insurance is up, monthly bills keep rising, and some of them still have a mortgage payment. A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating that mortgage payment, paying off debts, and giving you more room in your monthly budget. Now, let me say this, it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can make a real difference. When you call Best Mortgage, you work directly with me for a free consultation. I'll explain how it works, answer your questions, and tell you honestly whether it fits your needs. If you're 62 or older and want to learn more about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 22nd, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
There is nothing so special as June in a Northwest garden. Hi, I'm Gina, a designer and sign painter here at Sky Nursery, and I have been a huge gardener since my now adult kids were shorter than my lavender. When I get home from work this time of year, the first thing I do is head straight out into the garden to see how everything is growing and enjoy the spring golden hour. I'm in love with this year's zinnias and lavender, and the rose I added this February is just about to bloom. So I've been spoiling it with a little extra organic fertilizer. And as any gardener does, I'm also trying everything I can to make space for just a few more flowers and veggies. If you still have room for new plants in your life, June is a great time to get them in the ground before the summer heat. Come into Sky and explore the colorful tapestry of trees and shrubs, summer veggies and herbs, fountains, containers, hanging baskets, and more. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store since 1953. Visit skynursery.com for free seasonal garden advice and summer events. Happy gardening!
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know the key to a long-lasting roof is yearly maintenance. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? You can trust Guardian's licensed, insured, and expertly trained team. We offer free estimates, second opinions, and financing, giving you the peace of mind your home deserves. Call today. Our first-time customers can save $99 on our award-winning roof repair and cleaning service. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Every day, caregivers change lives. Caregiving offers flexibility and the chance to make a real difference in your community. It's not just caring work, it's hard work. The kind of work that calls for empathy, patience, problem solving, reliability, and both physical and mental strength. It may be the hardest job you'll ever love. Right now, Washington faces a caregiver shortage, and your skills and your heart are needed more than ever. Visit caregivercareerswa.com for resources and support to start or return to your caregiving career.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB and this station.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
There are 5 things money can do for you: growth, liquidity, cash flow, protection, and tax advantages. Don't miss an opportunity because your current retirement plan only focuses on 2 or 3 of them. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 5:31. I'm Manda Factor. Well, the World Cup is here, and so are federal immigration agents. That has some people worried. According to the Seattle Times, about 50 of them gathered at Judkins Park yesterday for a rally of songs and speeches against ICE. One person waved a giant flag reading "ICE Out Now." An organizer with the hospitality union Unite Here Local 8 says she's afraid agents could use the games to round up local workers. Well, Belgium's national team, the Red Devils, has set up camp in Renton for the World Cup, drawing fans from overseas to Western Washington. Ferdan Bekmezi, a Belgian national who's lived in Western Washington for 21 years, tells KIRO 7 TV she has been coordinating fan gatherings.
We don't know anything about Seattle. All we know is from the movie Sleepless in Seattle and, the Space Needle.
Belgium plays Egypt today in Seattle. Kickoff set for noon. They're going to be playing soccer in the heat. Despite a heat advisory and temperatures climbing into the 90s, a lot of people spent the weekend soaking up the sunshine. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha.
People were out in force, soaking in the soccer celebration areas, along with the heat, trying to snag cold drinks since hydration is key.
They really got lucky with the weather this week.
So, what do you do to beat the heat?
I don't know, go inside best I can, go get in the water.
Sunscreen day today for sure?
For sure.
At Madison Park Beach, getting by or in the water was the way to deal with the 80-degree temperatures most of us just aren't used to. But beating the heat can be a chore for some and fun for others.
Well, Cal Raleigh continued his dominant run in Tacoma over the weekend, launching 2 more home runs in Saturday night's Rainiers game, including the farthest homer at Cheney Stadium all season.
Right-hander Hergen from the belts. The pitch is hit high in the air. Deep right field, out of here!
Rainiers broadcaster Andy Helwig on the call. The Big Dumper has hit 5 home runs in his short rehab stint in Tacoma. Raleigh's expected to rejoin the Mariners tomorrow as they host the Baltimore Orioles at T-Mobile Park. 5:33, time for a check on traffic once again. Ted Biener's in for Sully.
That was so fun to hear that call.
I know, isn't it?
Wow, what a tee shot.
I think he's ready to be back.
I think so. I just hope he keeps that swing going at the major league level. All right. Hey, if you're just hitting the road, there are no reported crashes or stalls in your way throughout the Puget Sound region. And we got highway speed drives. I kind of wonder if everybody's bailed out of town after the high school graduations over the weekend. Looking at some drive times, they're very good. Northbound 405, that is just 12 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. Federal Way to Seattle, 22 minutes. 15 of those are from South Center. Puyallup to Renton is just under a half hour. Coming in from the north end, Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, both of those are under 30 minutes. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Again, heat advisory in effect for today. We're looking for a high of 90, and then we'll get some relief starting tomorrow. Partly sunny, 75 tomorrow. We'll see lots of sunshine for the rest of the week. No rain in the forecast. Mid-70s for Wednesday, upper 70s, possibly 80 on Friday. Right now in Seattle, the sun's coming up. It's 65 degrees.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
For years now, consumer groups have lobbied for an end to costly overdraft fees. While some large banks and credit unions have reduced or eliminated those fees, they remain standard practice across much of the banking industry.
Consumerman Herb Weisbaum says there are ways to avoid being hit with these penalty fees. Herb is a contributing editor at checkbook.org.
And Herb, the cost of these overdrafts might shock some people.
Yeah, overdraft fees remain a costly burden for many bank customers, and they're more common than you might realize. Last year, the average overdraft fee was $26.77, just about $27, according to a survey by Bankrate.com. Bankrate also found that 9 out of 10 of the account options that it studied 94% at financial institutions across the country charge a fee when a customer's account has a negative balance. And keep this in mind, some banks and credit unions charge significantly more, up to $35. Now, you may remember that a few years ago, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, issued a rule that would have eliminated most overdraft fees. It brought them down to $5 at the nation's largest banks and credit unions. The CFPB estimated that would save Americans $5 billion a year. But last year, Congress killed the regulation before it could take effect. And since then, revenue from overdraft fees has increased.
How much money are the banks making off of this?
According to the National Consumer Law Center and a report they just issued a week or so ago, $12.4 billion is the estimate in 2025. $12.4 billion, a big revenue source.
Yeah, for sure. Can we tell from all this research who's most likely to get hit with an overdraft fee?
Yeah, the National Consumer Law Center says that overdraft fees are overwhelmingly paid by economically disadvantaged households, which would be lower incomes, lower credit scores, and they're more likely to have multiple fees. Many people have as many as 10 of these or more a year. So it seems to be that the group of people who are struggling the most.
In your new checkbook store, you asked the American Bankers Association for their position on overdraft fees. Herb, what'd they say?
Yeah, the nation's bankers have opposed any regulations that limit what they can charge for overdrafts. They insist that overdraft protection is a valuable service that their customers want. Here's the quote that the ABA sent to Checkbook. Quote, consumers have repeatedly made clear that they understand and value access to this highly regulated service and do not want to lose it due to government-imposed price controls. Despite the ABA's insistence that banks can't afford to cap their overdraft fees, several large institutions have reduced overdraft fees or eliminated them entirely. They're no more at Capital One and Ally Bank. They don't charge overdraft fees. Chase does not charge its $34 overdraft fee if an account is overdrawn by less than $50 at the end of the day, $50 or less. And Wells Fargo gives account holders a 24-hour grace period before charging overdraft fees.
Okay, what are some of the ways? I mean, of course, not overdrafting is one way to avoid these fees, but what are some of the other ways people can avoid having this happen at their bank?
Well, that's it, not to overdraw. And here's how you do that. There are 3 tips I have for everyone listening. First of all, decline optional overdraft coverage, which you may have signed up for when you signed up for your checking account. Do this, and debit card and ATM purchases that you put on your account, if it's in the red, will be declined without a fee. So that might be a little bit embarrassing if you're at the checkout counter, but you won't wind up paying $35 for the $5 cup of coffee. And Charlie, for anyone listening, if you're not sure where your account is, when you signed up, call your bank or go to the bank and say, what happens if I use my debit card and I make a purchase and I don't have enough money to cover the purchase? Is there a fee or will the transaction be declined? Tip 2, set up count alerts so you'll get notified via text or email when your balance drops below a certain amount that you can set, giving you time to add funds so you won't overdraw. And tip number 3, link your checking account to a savings account, a credit card, or a line of credit to automatically cover any shortfalls you might have. Most banks don't charge a fee for overdraft protection, is what this is called, not overdraft coverage. Transfers from a linked savings account, but they may charge you a little bit if it goes to a credit card or a line of credit. But you know what? It's a whole lot cheaper than what you'll pay in most cases for an overdraft fee. And one final tip, if you slip up, and we all make mistakes and it's only happened once, contact the bank and say, I made an honest mistake. Can you let me go this one time? And they very well may let you do that.
All right, Herb, where do we find out more?
You go to checkbook.org. You can read my entire story. And by the way, Charlie, it's nice that you could join us Friday today.
Yeah, I sometimes like to grace you with my presence, Herb.
You're supposed to do a side gig on the side, not when you're
You heard me on that other station? I'm kidding.
No, I didn't.
I think it was baseball, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right. Consumer man Herb Weisbaum, thanks for your time today, Herb.
It's 5:40. Coming up, your political insights from ABC's Brian Clark. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Carrie injured her back years ago. This is her story.
My herniated disc was so significant that they did the first surgery, the laminectomy and a microdiscectomy. The first surgery failed, and I ended up with another herniated disc, which is pretty typical that herniations just move up your spine. The doctor was recommending another fusion surgery, so I researched alternative therapies. Sound Pain Solutions developed a plan that included bioelectric therapy, laser therapy, decompression, pressure wave therapy, in addition to rehab. Once we started that comprehensive approach, it went phenomenally. They honestly have given me my life back, and I'm happy to help other patients find sound pain solutions sooner.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
These are your political insights from ABC News. President Trump said a deal has been reached to end the U.S. blockade of Iran and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. ambassador to the UN, Mike Waltz, said,
"This president has always put diplomacy first, but unlike his predecessors, it has to be backed with credible military force."
But there are still many unknowns, including what the U.S. is giving Iran and how a 60-day period to discuss Iran's nuclear program will play out. Ambassador Wendy Sherman was a top negotiator on the Obama administration's deal with Iran.
It takes an expert team, including nuclear physicists, Treasury experts, sanctions experts, commerce experts, lots of lawyers, intelligence assets to really get such a deal done.
President Trump endorsed loyalist Mike Collins in Georgia's Republican Senate runoff over former football coach Derek Dooley. Primary day is Tuesday. Brian Clark, ABC News.
It's 5:43. We are headed for another toasty day. 90 the expected high for today. Heat advisory in effect. We'll see some high clouds roll in. 59 overnight, and then tomorrow very pleasant, partly sunny, 75. Looks like as we wrap up the week, it's just going to be really nice. 75 on Wednesday, 79 Thursday, Friday, mostly sunny, into the low 80s, but really pleasant weather. Right now in Seattle, it is sunny. It's 65 degrees. Coming up, we're going to hear from Art Dolan of Battlefield Addiction and Andrea Suarez of We Heart Seattle talking about the drug crisis in our city. That's next here on Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. And once again, they've been awarded the best in the Pacific Northwest for roofing by the Seattle Times in 2025. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down and 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing today, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
If you got into a car accident, you can negotiate with the insurance company yourself. Or you can make the wise decision and call the Herald Car Law offices. They handle the paperwork while you recover. They negotiate with leverage, and they get you the recovery you actually deserve. An amount that's almost always higher than what you would have walked away with on your own. 7 locations across Western Washington and a free consultation at carlaw.com. There are 2 R's in car, C-A-R-R. Car accident? Call CAR. Online at carlaw.com.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic.
With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Summertime means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, and more. So don't let your bank stop you from having fun. Free checking at WaFd Bank is the way to go. There are no minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Plus, you'll get spending tools and the latest technology to help you stay on budget. Not only is WaFd Bank rated a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states, so you have access wherever you are. Visit wafdbank.com to open your account. Additional fees may apply. Member FDIC.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Thanks for joining us today. We have again with us Art Dolan and Andrea Suarez. Art is with Battlefield Addiction. Andrea Suarez, We Heart Seattle. Wanted to talk today about what we're seeing in terms of overdoses. You know, guys, we have talked multiple times about how thousands of people a year are dying in Washington state from fentanyl overdoses. But we have a drug that's doing the work here, saving thousands of lives, and that is Narcan. I want to start with you, Andrea. What are you seeing on a regular basis in terms of overdoses being prevented?
Well, it's daily. I live downtown, so I'm walking over overdose reversals all day long, hundreds per week in our county, thousands a day in our state. You see the cartridges handed out like Halloween candy. You get them at your libraries. There's vending machines of Narcan. Now there's intermuscular needles that look like something you would tranquilize a horse with because the drugs are so powerful that it's cartridges and these needles that are being handed out and saving lives. And that is harm reduction. But that's what we're relying on. And, you know, thank God for those drugs. But if you took those away, you would have a death toll that is unimaginable again. So let's just stop using it. Yeah. Stop using the drug.
Art, what are you seeing in terms of when you have people in active addiction who come to you, how many of them have been Narcaned?
Most of them have, they describe it as I've died 15 times.
Died?
Died. I died last week. I died 2 weeks ago. I'm back here, Art, because I died and I got, Narcaned. It's a crazy thing to think that we would have to come up with something to prevent overdose other than not doing the drug. It's really insane. It's like, let's do the drug, but the problem is we don't have enough Narcan and we just need more Narcan. And that is just such a weird way of thinking. I think that we've incredibly normalized death with this drug. I think that normal people going to work in Seattle probably see somebody overdosing once a day, maybe twice a day, and just walk by and go, okay, I got to get to work. It's crazy. And you know, the loss of somebody when you see it up close and you don't get to them and you don't Narcan them and you lose them, or the Narcan doesn't work and you lose them, it wakes you up to this isn't right. This isn't right. People dying and us have to revive them every day is not right. We need to stop people from using fentanyl. It is crazy that I have to say that. It's crazy that I have to say, hey, and I want people to understand, please look at it if it's your kid. Don't think of it any other way than what would you do if it was your kid using fentanyl? How happy would you be if somebody else was providing tools to do that, or if somebody was enabling him to do that?
You are somebody who was an active addict. You are not speaking from a place of somehow you're a morally superior person. You know how it is. Mm-hmm. And so when you've experienced that, thank God there is Narcan, but there's a better way, and that is through getting help for it. Talk about the other side of it, Art. There is hope, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're doing at Battlefield Addiction. We're getting people off the drug, and they get off the drug, and they do miraculously. And they're just, I think people aren't giving drug addicts enough credit for who they are. The people, we see who they are, and we see who they can be. And I think that people got to look and see people on the streets and not think of how they're behaving right now. Think of who they could be. And we want to help them reach that potential.
Andrea, how many people have you Narcaned in your past 6 years doing this?
Gosh, our team, dozens of people. I'm actually more of a 911 girl. I want to get the medics there and get the people who know what they're doing there as fast as possible. A real visual I did the other day at a park where I saw dozens of people using drugs. Asked them, hey, raise your hand if you know somebody who died. Every 100%, like you think about, everybody knows somebody who's passed away because of this drug, yet that doesn't even stop people from using, including Nehemiah, including, the next person right now who's losing their life. It's too strong, it's too easy, it's too accessible, and we're enabling it. And that's what we're asking for cover on, is we're tired and not having that policy and law enforcement and treatment to do our job. And that's why social workers get burnt out. Yeah. Why aren't there, they're like, why try? Here's just some more Narcan and some more oranges, because it's futile. It feels futile, but there is hope, and there are programs, and gosh, we're opening up a tiny house shelter that was $17 million to put drug addicts in shacks fit for a lawnmower. Imagine what we could do with $17 million if we really leaned into stopping the use of fentanyl.
$17 million, we could build the most beautiful treatment camp that ever existed. We could build, and the people getting sober could help each other get sober, and it would be inexpensive to run.
What I think people need to hear is getting their lives back. Mm-hmm. It's not warehousing people, keeping them sick, keeping them addicted. This is about having a meaningful, purpose-driven life, and that is possible for people.
Just imagine the potential of the people that are currently on the streets, and if we used all that potential to turn those people around, what it would look like.
These people deserve to
They're
recover.
Just like me. They're just like Corey. They're the same. We're the
Get
same.
healthy.
Yeah, they're not. There's no deficit. When you start calling it a disorder, it really changes things. No, these people are just drug users that are addicted to drugs. They get off drugs, guess what? They're not going to have a disorder anymore. That's how it works. They're going to be fine. And they're going to have productive, meaningful lives. And they're probably going to come here and tell us about it.
Art Dolan, Andrea Suarez, thanks for your time this morning. I think one of the things, Manda, that I didn't realize until I really started covering this, and it was, 15 months ago, was I did not understand that people who go and work with people suffering from addiction, outreach workers from the county, whatever, they do not bring up, hey, it looks like you should probably get into rehab or detox.
Right.
They don't suggest that until the person who is in the throes of addiction asks for help themselves.
And they're not going to do that.
They're not going to do that. And I also don't think a lot of people realize, at least I didn't, that sobriety treatment is not even pushed. It's this harm reduction philosophy where the research shows it is at least equally as effective as sobriety. And we're not even going and doing sobriety as much as we are harm reduction. And until we start thinking about people like Art, who are trying to get people their lives back, we're going to be stuck in this situation.
What really stuck out to me is when he said the people in his home have died 15 times.
Yes. I mean, they all talk about, I died that time. I can't tell you the number of people I've spoken with. Yeah, no, I died. And it's like, I'm not saying it's not no big deal, but it's like, yeah, that's a fact of life. Don't we all die?
Keep spreading the word, Charlie.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello. Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spellbook.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
I was walking my dog. I fell and ended up with 3 tears in my meniscus. I was sent to a surgeon and they said the only way to get this fixed is to have surgery. That just wasn't an option. I didn't want to jump into surgery without trying anything else.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We offer Jamie an alternative to the downtime and potential risks associated with invasive knee surgery. At Sound Pain Solutions, we help patients like Jamie avoid the side effects of painkillers, cortisone injections, and pain following surgery. Our comprehensive approach includes treatments like pressure wave, PRP, and advanced laser. These treatments reduce pain and restore mobility naturally. Now Jamie is able to do everything she enjoys without pain.
I'm grateful for being able to wake up every day and not be in pain. To be able to go about my day has been amazing.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free joint treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
If you're over 62 and finding it hard to keep up with the rising cost of living, this may be your solution. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home and want to stay, but feel financial pressure every month. Property taxes keep going up. Insurance costs more. Everyday bills add up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment. If you're wondering how long your savings need to last, a reverse mortgage may be worth a look. It could eliminate your mortgage payment, pay off debts, and give you breathing room every month. Now, I want to make it clear it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can be a very smart financial tool. When you call Best Mortgage, you'll speak directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for you. If you want to stay in your home with less financial stress, call me, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, we've cared for hens with healthy pastures and organic grains. That's why our eggs are nutritious and flavorful. Next time you shop, choose Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry. Preston, stock market set to charge out of the gates as oil prices drop after the announcement of a peace deal between the U.S. and Iran. The first effect, opening up the Strait of Hormuz for the first time in months. Here's ABC's Martha Raddatz.
In addition to reopening of the strait, this initial agreement, according to a senior administration official, leads to the dismantling of the Iranian nuclear program, leads to the United States destroying and removing enriched uranium from Iran, calls for inspections to ensure a long-term commitment and that it's long-term enforceable. And Iran gets rewarded economically only if they meet the obligations under the deal.
Specific details about Iran's nuclear program still to be worked out. President Trump headed to the G7 summit this morning in the French Alps. And investigators are looking through the wreckage of a plane crash after 12 people died skydiving in Missouri. This is ABC News. Anthropic says it's taken its newest AI models offline following a Trump administration directive to ban its use by foreigners. ABC senior White House correspondent Selena Wang explains.
There was an earlier version of Mythos called Mythos Preview that had alarmed Washington and Wall Street when it was unveiled back in April over concerns that it could be used by hackers to break into financial and healthcare networks. So Anthropic only rolled that out to a small group of trusted partners under this program called Project Glasswing, which was done in collaboration with the U.S. government. So Anthropic's argument is that they've been working with the U.S. government leading up to this rollout to the general public.
The government saying it wants foreign nationals not to have access to the new AI models. In New York, that was the sound this weekend. Well, now the Knicks ticker tape parade down the Canyon of Heroes in Lower Manhattan is set to take place on Thursday. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
6:02 here on Seattle's Morning News. Here's what's happening.
Well, the city is buzzing today as Seattle hosts its first World Cup match at what's now called Seattle Stadium. Just bring water, heat advisory in effect with more hot weather on the way. John Repp will join us live from the stadium.
A search is underway for a suspect after 2 stabbings overnight in Seattle's Little Saigon. Detectives say 2 men were found bleeding near South Weller Street. Both are fighting for their lives right now at Harborview.
In North Seattle, police investigating after a body was recovered from Hollard Lake yesterday afternoon. Detectives thinks it's a 35-year-old man who was reported missing over the weekend.
Coming up on 6:03, it's time to get a check on traffic. Sully is off this morning. We say hello to Ted.
And good morning on southbound I-5. We've got a new crash at 56th Street in Tacoma. It's blocking the left 2 lanes. Otherwise, overall, traffic's moving pretty well with no other reported blocking issues. The slowdowns, though, they include northbound 167 from State Route 18 to Willis in Kent. Northbound I-5 from Marvin Road to Mounts Road, going through the Nisqually Valley there, and 320th to pass 272nd in Federal Way. And we got some brake lights through the Renton curves on northbound 405. Drive times coming in from the north end, Arlington to Everett, 15 minutes. Everett to Seattle Bellevue, both of those are just under a half hour. Coming in from the south end, Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is 40 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle is 45. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time is now 32 minutes, while the drive from Renton to Bellevue is 15 minutes. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
Good morning. After years of waiting, today, Seattle's World Cup summer officially kicks off. A crowd of volunteers and vendors are at what's now called Seattle Stadium, Lumen Field right now, bracing for thousands of fans who will watch Belgium versus Egypt today at noon.
Now, despite the festivities, the latest numbers show some big warning signs for the region's hotels. We begin our coverage live with KIRO News Radio's John Repp, who is at the stadium this morning.
Manda, Charlie, good morning. The latest World Cup index from RateGain, a global travel analytics company, shows that hotel bookings in Seattle are down by 20% compared to this time last year. That's even with the World Cup. And all of this is coming at a time when you would expect everything to be packed, right? So what's going on? Well, I talked with the president and CEO of the Washington Hospitality Association to find out. Anthony Anton tells me a couple of things are at play.
The hotel industry is in really rough shape. I've talked to a lot of operators who feel like today is worse than COVID.
What's really interesting is that other U.S. World Cup cities are seeing a boost in hotel numbers. So Seattle is an outlier. Anton says you have a couple of Seattle-specific factors that are likely driving this. One big thing is that fewer people are driving down from Canada.
The expense issues of Seattle are having an impact. The reputation of the safety issues of Seattle is having an impact. And I think the Canadian interplay is having an impact. We'll know for certain here in the next week.
I did ask Visit Seattle for a comment about these numbers. They sent a statement from a spokesperson saying they don't have any immediate numbers to share, but they'll have a post-tournament economic impact update. Now, Anton emphasizes that Even with all of this, hotels, restaurants, businesses are all thrilled that the World Cup is here. And it's an opportunity for the world to see Seattle in a different light with a positive global perception. And I can tell you this morning, all systems are go down here. People are ready for the crowds that are expected at Seattle Stadium in a few hours. Reporting live, John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Well, with the World Cup being here, there are also federal immigration agents in Seattle. That has some people worried. According to the Seattle Times, about 50 of them gathered at Judkins Park yesterday for a rally of songs and speeches against ICE. One person waved a giant flag reading ICE out now. An organizer with the hospitality union Unite Here Local 8 says she's afraid agents could use the games to round up local workers. Her union represents 9,000 hotel and hospitality workers in Washington and Oregon.
If you're riding Sound Transit to any of the World Cup matches, heads up, you won't be able to take your bike on board Link or Sounder trains. This will open more space for anticipated packed trains, according to Sound Transit. Cyclists are still encouraged to ride to transit stations where bike link rooms and lockers will be free on game days.
Well, if you plan on flying a drone during the FIFA World Cup, you should know there are airspace restrictions everywhere. Police will be on the lookout for violators. Here's KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Renton police have rolled out a new D-drone trailer to help keep Renton skies safe and to enforce temporary drone no-fly zones. The trailer scans the sky in real time, detects unauthorized drones, reads their remote ID, and can pinpoint where the pilot is standing. Here's Renton PD's Megan Black.
In the end, it's to keep the community safe and to protect everyone so that they have a really good time.
During the World Cup, flying within a 1-mile restricted zone could get you in trouble. Always check FAA flight rules before you fly. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Busy day today, Amanda.
I know.
Big day for the city.
I made the mistake of running a quick errand downtown yesterday.
Yeah.
It didn't go
Was
so
it packed?
smoothly. It was packed. People everywhere.
I was looking at some of the video, not only from here, but also up in Vancouver, BC. When the Australians come, this should be a lot of fun. They are out and they are partying and they're having a good time. I know that is, later this week or sometime next week. So
kickoff today is at noon.
At noon. I am going to try to get out of here
at
as soon
9:01?
as... Well, because I live south of the city. We're north, of the stadium. So, I would imagine throughout the morning, Ted, you will watch an unusual building of traffic that we normally don't get.
We were talking earlier in the past hour how many schools had their graduation ceremonies over the weekend. Everybody's out of town, if you wish. They got out of Dodge. A lot of people are going to avoid the area. And, of course, we're going to have that midday traffic here.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be on top of it. This hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
And coming up this hour, Crime and Punishment, our weekly check-in with Casey McNerthney at the King County Prosecutor's Office. He answers some important questions about the violence on Aurora Avenue.
All right. And we'll also have an update on the peace deal set to be signed between the U.S. and Iran. We'll head live to Jerusalem to check in with ABC's Jordana Miller.
It's 6:09, another toasty day on tap. Despite a heat advisory, though, and temperatures climbing into the 90s, people spent the weekend soaking up the sunshine around here. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha.
People were out in force, soaking in the soccer celebration areas, along with the heat, trying to snag cold drinks since hydration is key.
They really got lucky with the weather this week.
So, what do you do to beat the heat?
I don't know, go inside best I can, go get in the water.
Sunscreen day today for sure?
Absolutely.
For sure. At Madison Park Beach, getting by or in the water was the way to deal with the 80-degree temperatures most of us just aren't used to. But beating the heat can be a chore for some and fun for others.
Safety reminder as well, a teenage girl has died after going underwater at Lake Sammamish yesterday afternoon. Eastside Fire and Rescue says crews were able to pull her from the water. They tried to save her for a full hour. She did not survive. What led to her death is still under investigation.
And for the second time in 2 days, emergency crews were called to the Stillaguamish River for a water rescue. North County Regional Fire Authority joins Snohomish County Fire District 21 in bringing 4 people safely out of the river yesterday. Authorities say 2 children involved in the incident were wearing life jackets, which likely prevented tragedy. Fire officials remind river users that cold, fast-moving water can be unpredictable. Wearing a life jacket can make all the difference in an emergency.
It's 6:10 now. King County sales tax is about to go up by 0.1%. County Transportation District approved that increase to help repair roads and bridges in unincorporated areas. Chair Claudia Balducci says the system is badly underfunded.
It's been 20 years since I first said to somebody, we have got to fix our rural roads problem, and here we are.
This was a 5-4 vote. Board member Stephanie Fain voted no, citing concerns about affordability.
I can't support asking residents to pay another countywide sales tax.
Now, the voters will not have a say on this. It's expected to bring in $100 million a year. 12.5% will be shared among cities. The rest go to the county. This takes effect January 1st of next year.
As road trip season heats up, Washington gas prices are dropping. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon.
The average for a gallon of regular in Washington has dropped to $5.51. That is 11 cents cheaper than a week ago and almost 30 cents less than a month ago. But it is still $1.14 more than a year ago. So let's go county by county. In Snohomish County, filling up will cost you $5.63 a gallon. In King County, around $5.85. And in Pierce County, a gallon of regular is averaging out at $5.62.
The Seattle School District has a new plan to build an athletic field for Lincoln High School, the district's only high school without one. Seattle Times reports the district announced last week it has a plan to build it at Woodland Park at North 50th Street and Aurora Avenue North. That's where a gravel lot currently sits. It's a project that could take years. Proposal still has to be approved by the city's Board of Parks and Recreation and pass an environmental impact statement. Right now, Lincoln students have to bus to other locations like Ingram High or Woodland Park's existing sports fields to practice and compete.
It's now 6:12. It's time for a check on the forecast as we head into the new week. Nick Allard of KIRO 7 joins us. It is going to be another toasty day. Nick.
Oh, man, is it ever. Now, I will say there'll be some cooler pockets if you go to the coast today or in the Strait. Those areas are going to be cooler. You have more onshore wind for those spots. But inland, we got to hold off on that. What you'll find is just heat. So we hit, what did we get? 89 yesterday. And I think today you're going to be more, say, at 90. Now, you could finish up at 89, but I still have you at 90. The reason why I say you could finish there is there will be more cloud cover today. And I think at times you're going to have some high clouds, some filtered sunshine. So I thought about maybe lowering the temps, but then we're not really going to feel that ocean air across the Puget Sound until late in the day, and it started off so warm, in the mid-60s, so I still did make it a degree warmer at about 90. The record is 88, so I think either way that's gone. I have us in the low to mid-90s at least across the Cascade Foothills and the South Sound. You might feel it slightly cooler around Bellingham, more like 80 versus, mid-80s, and mid-80s around Everett, so it's all either way. I don't know if you're going to feel the difference between 89 to 90. I don't think you can. It's going to be right around the same thing. Tomorrow, 75. Huge difference with some low clouds and then sunshine. If it holds, the rest of the week right now is that same pattern and then getting into the mid and upper 70s and lower 80s. So it looks really nice the rest of the week. But today is that pinpoint alert because so many people will be at the match today. And even by noon, it's probably around 80 degrees. And it just keeps on going from there.
Can we order up a nice cool breeze? Or something?
Yeah, I think this evening you'll get it. Tomorrow actually does look breezy. So, you got that. I can get you a burrito, too.
Oh.
What service?
Please. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, that's just what I'm here for.
Nice day. Right now it's sunny and 65 in Seattle.
Time to check traffic on the threes. With Chris Sullivan off this morning, we say hello to Ted Beener.
And good morning, everybody. This traffic report is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. On southbound I-5, we got a crash at 56th Street in Tacoma. It's blocking the left two lanes. Got a short backup there. And just got word of a new crash on southbound I-5 at State Route 18 that's blocking the HOV lane. Driving in from the north end, southbound I-5 has got some brake lights across the Snohomish Valley, if I can spit it out. Southbound 405 is also starting to see some merge crowding as you go through the Canyon Park area. Coming in from the south end, eastbound 512 slows down the hill from South Hill. Northbound 167 is slowing from State Route 18 to Willis. Northbound 405 got some braking as you go through the Renton curves. And northbound I-5 pauses from Marvin Road to the Nisqually Valley and Midway to 200th. Drive times, Renton to Bellevue, 15 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is a half hour now. 15 of those are from South Center. Puyallup to Renton is 32 minutes. Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, both of those are hanging in there at just under 30 minutes. Text APP to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app, listen to your favorite shows, and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show. Seattle's morning news on KIRO News Radio.
Monday morning makes it time for Crime and Punishment, our weekly interview segment with Casey McNerney at the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. And Casey, one of the things we have been paying close attention to here on Seattle's Morning News is the ongoing situation on Aurora Avenue, where you have gun battles basically happening weekly, if not more, and neighbors have said enough is enough. And one of the big things I think a lot of people are saying is, what can we do to address it, in particularly for the Johns, who basically go up into that area and utilize the services of what are frequently underage prostitutes?
Yeah. What King County prosecutors can do is charge those human trafficking cases and the cases involving children. When you have sex buyers with adults, those under the law are misdemeanors that go to the city attorney's office. But, we read the comments too in the many stories that have been written about Aurora. And one question that came up a lot last week was essentially folks said, why is it so hard to charge human trafficking? Just make an arrest, bring them to court. It's actually really simple. And I wish it was that simple. That really shows the difference between the Facebook standard of what people think is the only things that are needed and the legal standard, which has a much higher, very high burden of proof. And that can be pretty frustrating for people, especially driving up and down that strip saying, oh, come on, you can do more than this. If it were easier to bring to court, of course, police and prosecutors would bring it more frequently. Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes talked about a case that went to the feds just last week. And that investigation took almost a year to build up, which understandably is pretty frustrating because neighbors can't wait a year.
No, they can't. And that's what becomes frustrating for them is they see the crime happening every day and they're up to no good. When you hear about the human costs, the human suffering here, are there prosecutors in your office trying to reach a solution that we may not even be aware of?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a good meeting last week with the city attorney's office and our office, and the mayor was there and the police chief was there and threw around ideas of what can we do that maybe we haven't thought of yet. And it was a very good discussion. There was a lot of things that were brought up that hadn't been thought of before, and there's no magic solution, but there are ideas that are being discussed, and probably more will roll out in the next few weeks.
We did see, for example, the FBI was out there on Aurora the other night. That was certainly something that was great to see.
I should say the feds were in that meeting too from the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Yeah, so you're all getting together and talking because I think everybody recognizes this is a problem.
Yeah.
One of the things that people were just spitballing here was maybe the state patrol could get involved.
Yeah, that's possible because even if they were just doing a DUI emphasis, there's plenty of drunks that drive down that road. And, you also see the reckless motorcycle groups that go up and down. And, it feels like a lot of us have been on that road when you see the kind of really craziness that could absolutely hurt somebody when you're blowing through red lights or speeding. Alex Voorhees is one of the prosecutors who handles the human trafficking cases. Here's a clip from her speaking to a neighborhood group earlier this month, explaining the difficulty in those human trafficking cases.
The discovery, that means the police reports and video and social media reports and all of the things that we gather to prosecute these cases are very often as voluminous as my coworkers who handle homicide cases. They are also incredibly challenging to take to trial because oftentimes it requires that we ask a survivor to come and do one of the hardest things in their life. To come into a courtroom and sit across the table on the witness stand from the person who caused them irreparable harm.
That's the thing, right? Because the neighbors I speak to are terrified. They're terrified not only of getting hurt, but they're also terrified because it's basically organized crime happening in their neighborhood, and they're afraid of retribution if they do help with the authorities. What can be done about that?
That's another thing that we hear too. And so I asked Acting Lieutenant Patrick Michaud about that, and he had some great advice for how people can help if they don't want to share their name or share very limited information. That's one of the big concerns is when you're seeing a crime happen, when you call 911 right away, you sometimes forget that you're creating a public record by that call and by reporting it. And it can be pretty tough. We see this all the time where people see their name in a public record request later and go, I don't want my name out there, but they still want to help. So how do you balance those two? Here's what Lieutenant Michaud had to say.
When you initially speak with an officer, all you have to do is just request that your information not be disclosed. It's that simple. It's just a box for the officer to check. But when you tell them that, they have a responsibility to click that box when they're taking the report, and your information then does not get sent out when people do a public disclosure request, and it will all be handled that way. My belief is that the courts are able to still see it and able to get a hold of you if need be. But also, if you do not wish to speak with them, it's still a conversation that you had with an officer, so that we can then say that, yeah, I spoke with this individual, and we can at least use it that way. Again, it comes down to you just telling an officer, hey, I don't want this to be disclosed, and we can then still use the information that you're providing us.
Okay, I had no idea that was even a possibility, so that might bring some peace of mind to people who really do want to help.
Yeah, hopefully. And it works for all neighborhoods, not just Aurora. So if there's something that you see and you want to help out, that's a good way to do it.
Casey McNair, the Crime and Punishment every Monday here on Seattle's Morning News. Casey, thanks for your time this morning.
You bet. It's great to see you, Charlie.
A beloved hiking destination in southwest Washington has become the target of vandals. Volunteers with the Sand Mountain Society returned to High Rock Lookout and found extensive damage, including broken windows, destroyed restoration materials, and equipment tossed from the cliffside site. The group has spent hundreds of hours restoring the historic fire lookout in partnership with local historians and the Forest Service. The damage, they say, could delay the project's completion by another year. If you have any information, you're urged to contact the Cowlitz Valley Ranger Station.
We check traffic every 10 minutes on Seattle's Morning News. Ted Biener is at the traffic desk this morning.
Thank you, Charlie. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. On southbound I-5, we've got a crash at 56th Street. I was just looking at it on the cams there in Tacoma. Still blocking the left two lanes. We've got a relatively short backup through that stretch. Otherwise, eastbound 512 has got braking down the hill from South Hill. Northbound 167 slows from State Route 18 to 15th. Northbound 405 has got slowing through the Renton curves, and northbound I-5 pauses at times from 320th and Federal Way to 200th. Now, coming in from the north end, we've got some braking around the 522 interchange, and we've got some slowing across the Snohomish Valley, and southbound 405 has got merge crowding in Canyon Park. Drive times, Arlington to Everett, 15 minutes. Everett to Seattle Bellevue are now both around 35 minutes. On northbound I-5, Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM, that has popped up to 45 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle has risen to an hour. Puyallup to Renton, that is now 35 minutes, while the drive from Renton to Bellevue is 18 minutes. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial at 97.3 HD2. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO Newsradio. Real-time traffic.
Another hot day on tap. We are expecting a high of 90 in Seattle. We cool off to the mid to upper 70s the next several days after this. Right now downtown, it's 62.
And coming up, more of the day's top stories. KIRO News Radio's John Rep is down at Seattle Stadium already, where fans are gathering ahead of the World Cup match this afternoon. And we'll also get to your opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
So we have a big graduation/birthday party coming up this weekend at our place. And one of the things that we love Closets by Design for is how much room they have given us in our home. In our spare bedroom, our guest bedroom, we also have a home office set up. And most of the time, we leave the wall bed up. This weekend, we'll need to bring it down for our company staying over. But right now, what we're doing is we're storing all the stuff, the balloons, The decorations, everything is in our spare bedroom / home office. And without Closets by Design, it would be such a mess. Instead, we're able to use that for storage, and we appreciate it so much. See, at Closets by Design, they don't just do closets. It's garages, laundry rooms, home offices, wall beds. They do everything, all custom built in Kent. It's designed for your home. When things are designed right, your day just goes smoother with less clutter and frustration. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. So go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get your project started today.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, "I understand there may be a news story coming out."
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
Clogged gutters? Not anymore. K-Guard by Guardian keeps leaves out, water flowing, and your home protected year-round. No maintenance, no rust, just lasting peace of mind. Guardian Roofing, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit guardianroofing.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, "Can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life." And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Let's say you get into a car accident. You end up getting hurt. You're missing work, and now the insurance company wants you to handle the paperwork yourself while you're still recovering. Here's what happens when you go it alone. They throw out a lowball offer. You're on defense from minute one, and you're scraping for a fair shake against people who do this for a living. But here's what happens when you call Harold Carr Law Offices. They handle everything. The paperwork, the negotiation, the insurance company, all of it. You focus on getting better. They focus on getting you what you actually deserve. And trust me, that number is almost always higher than what you would have walked away with on your own. 7 locations across Western Washington, a huge qualified team, and a free consultation at carlaw.com. Carr is spelled with 2 R's, C-A-R-R. They'll actually listen to you and give you an honest assessment without any pressure. That's carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr. C-A-R-R. carlaw.com.
Your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts for 34 years. Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Get a no-pressure consultation from a real person, never an AI bot. Web search Best Mortgage for honest advice you can trust.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
There are 6 markets you can place your money in. Research suggests it's better to have exposure to all 6 markets. Don't miss a potential opportunity because you didn't strategically diversify your assets. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Request your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing in your portfolio. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, it's 6:30. Seattle is ready to welcome the world this morning as the very first local World Cup match kicks off at noon today.
Tens of thousands of fans are preparing to head down to Lumen Field, which during the competition is known as Seattle Stadium. And that's where we find KIRO News Radio's John Rep, who joins us live with the latest. John?
Charlie, I'm seeing volunteers, vendors, security, ushers, hundreds of other people with the multicolor lanyards, which is very distinctive, really sets them out in the crowd, all here early to make sure that the World Cup experience goes smoothly for anyone who's planning to attend. And inside the stadium, the pitch is ready. I can hear sound checks going on, and I have to admit that I don't know what the national anthems for either Belgium or Egypt sound like, but I'm pretty sure I heard one of them playing a few minutes ago. And can you imagine actually being a volunteer for this event? Thousands of people signed up. This person got selected after an interview process and says he's excited and nervous.
I've been following soccer for like 18 years. I'm a big Argentina and Messi fan. So I love soccer. I watch all the tournaments. So I'm super excited to be a part of it and see how it works from the inside.
He also has some civic pride here. He says Seattle is his home. He works and lives here, and he wants it to show up well for the rest of the world.
I mean, I never thought I would be in a city where the World Cup is happening, so super excited to give back and help out and help make it like a beautiful experience for everyone.
Gates to Seattle Stadium open up at 9 for early bird fans. Reporting live, John Rep, KIRO News Radio.
You know, John, was this the music you heard?
No, that's not it, Charlie. Is that Belgium or is that Egypt?
How dare you talk over the Belgian national anthem?
Yeah, no, that's not it. Yeah, I'll listen for it, though, and I'll keep you posted if I hear it.
All right. John Rapp reporting live from the World Cup.
Again, kudos to Nick. How on earth did you find that so fast? Well,
he's the best.
He is. Belgium's national team, the Red Devils, set up camp in Renton for the World Cup, drawing fans from overseas to Western Washington. For Dan Begmezi, the Belgian national who has lived in Western Washington for 21 years, tells KIRO 7 TV she's coordinating fan gatherings.
We don't know anything about Seattle. All we know is from the movie Sleepless in Seattle. And, the Space Needle.
Again, kickoff against Egypt today at noon.
I know we're supposed to play the traffic music, Nick. I really think we should have that Belgian national anthem, maybe under Ted's traffic the rest of the morning. What do you think?
Well, maybe I'll get the Egypt national anthem.
Okay, we'll have to check it out. You check traffic every 10 minutes on the threes. Here's Ted with traffic.
Oh, we're having fun this morning. On southbound I-5, we've got a new crash reported on eastbound State Route 18 at Auburn Black Diamond Road. May have just moved to the shoulder, but there are no cams along that stretch. It's unclear how many lanes may be blocked. So have your passenger let me know at the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 888-973-5476 what that situation is. Also, the crash at 56th Street in Tacoma continues to block the left two lanes. Got a short backup there. Otherwise, driving in from the north end, southbound I-5 has got some brake lights from the Boeing Freeway to the 405 split. Southbound 405 has got slowing from Canyon Park to 522. Coming in from the south end, northbound 167 got some slowing from Pacific up to Willis. And northbound 405 got some braking as you go through the Renton curves. And northbound I-5 pauses from about 320th to near 200th. And now from Albro into downtown. Drive times, Renton to Bellevue is up to 20 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is now 38 minutes. 23 of those are from South Center. Puyallup to Renton, 18 minutes. And coming in from the north end, Everett to Seattle, or Bellevue. Both of those are between 35 and 40 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
Heat advisory in effect. We're going to warm up to 94 today. Some high clouds, just a light breeze, but it's going to be toasty. We'll cool way down to 75 for tomorrow. Partly sunny, and the rest of the week looks great. We'll be in the mid and upper 70s right on through Friday. No rain in the forecast. Right now in Seattle, clear skies at 65.
From ABC News, Wall Street now. Surging consumer prices and rising inflation might actually have a silver lining for retirees. One independent Social Security and Medicare policy analyst expects next year's Social Security cost of living adjustment to rise by 4.7%. And some luxury watches are disappearing forever. Reuters says several models from brands like Omega and Tag Heuer are being melted down when they're sold. The gold in the watch is worth more than the watch itself. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Well, President Trump is touting what he calls a great deal he made with Iran. The president claims it will bring peace and security to the entire region. It certainly is having an impact on the global oil market. Here's ABC's Karen Hua in Washington, D.C.
News of the deal, sending Brent crude down more than $3 a barrel. The national gas average is now $3.99 a gallon, below $4 for the first time since April. The U.S. burned through much of its emergency oil stockpile, trying to keep prices down during the war. Now on track for its lowest level since 1983, leaving little cushion left if this deal falls apart. Karen Hua, ABC News, Washington.
As road trip season heats up, Washington gas prices finally starting to drop a little. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon.
The average for a gallon of regular in Washington has dropped to $5.51. That is 11 cents cheaper than a week ago and almost 30 cents less than a month ago. But it is still $1.14 more than a year ago. So let's go county by county. In Snohomish County, filling up will cost you $5.63 a gallon. In King County, around $5.85. And in Pierce County, a gallon of regular is averaging out at $5.62.
King County sales tax is about to go up by 0.1%. The County Transportation District approved that increase to help repair roads and bridges in unincorporated areas. Chair Claudia Balducci says the system is badly underfunded.
It's been 20 years since I first said to somebody, we have got to fix our rural roads problem, and here we are.
Board member Stephanie Fain voted no, citing concerns about affordability.
I can't support asking residents to pay another countywide sales tax.
This sales tax boost is expected to bring in $100 million a year.
Fox looking to expand its streaming footprint. Here's News Nation's Alicia Neves.
The company is buying Roku in a deal worth about $22 billion. The purchase is going to give Fox access to a streaming platform with more than 100 million households around the world. Fox already owns Tubi. The deal is expected to close early next year, but still needs approval from shareholders on both sides and from regulators.
The UK is banning social media for children under the age of 16. Prime Minister Keir Starmer said this morning he believes big tech is fully capable of making great products while also protecting children.
The innovation is incredible in AI and what is going on. Don't tell me that it's impossible for those innovators, those people who are brilliant at technology, to devise the ways to protect our children, and I think we should.
From ABC News Tech Trends. The Trump administration is issuing an export control directive which is intended to bar all foreign nationals from accessing two Anthropic models, Fable 5 and Mythos 5. In order to comply, Anthropic had to shut down access for everyone, including its own foreign national employees. The models had raised concerns they could be used to identify flaws in major cybersecurity systems. The Wall Street Journal reported over the weekend that Amazon CEO Andy Jassy told the Trump administration that his company discovered Fable 5 could be used to obtain information helpful in conducting a cyber attack. And KPMG has taken down a report about agentic AI from last October because it was apparently itself full of AI hallucinations. Researchers with the AI content detection tool GPT-0 first pointed out the flaws, finding about half the claims made in the paper were fake or misattributed, and that only 5 of the 45 citations in the paper pointed to real sources. With Tech Trends, I'm Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Wall Street certainly happy about the news of the potential Iran deal to end the war. The Dow is up this morning 634 points at 51,836. S&P 500 is up 114. The NASDAQ is up 582. And it's worth noting SpaceX, which just started trading on Friday, has gained 6% as it starts its first full of trading today.
6:39 now. As the world watches Seattle, KIRO 7 News will take you beyond the matches. Live team coverage inside the best fan experiences, unique local stories, and the lasting impact of the games for our community. Connect to the Cup. Watch live every newscast only on KIRO 7 TV.
6:39. Ted, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we had a couple of crashes earlier. They have cleared. I'll tell you all the details here in just a few moments.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Nice sunny morning and a big event early on that might complicate traffic. We check in with Ted for traffic on the threes.
All right, yeah, it's going to complicate traffic here later this morning. But right now, traffic is brought to you by LeMay, America's Car Museum. The crash on eastbound State Route 18 at Auburn Black Diamond Road, that has apparently moved over to the shoulder. All lanes are moving there. And the crash on 56th Street in Tacoma on southbound I-5, that has cleared. All lanes are back open, and that backup is recovering. Otherwise, northbound 167 has got some slowing from State Route 18 to Willis. Northbound 405 also got some slowing as you go through the Renton curves. And northbound I-5 pauses at times from Marvin Road to DuPont around the 5 curve, from 320th and Federal Way to 200th and Albro into downtown. Coming in from the north end, southbound I-5 has got some slowing from 128 to the 405 split, and southbound 405 has got crowding from Canyon Park to 522. The Narrows and Lake Bridges are doing well. Drive times, Arlington, Everett, 15 minutes. Everett to Seattle, Bellevue, both of those are between 35 and 40 minutes. Coming in from the south end, Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is now 49 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle has risen to just over an hour. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time is now 40 minutes, and that drive from Renton to Bellevue is 21 minutes. Give time this Father's Day at LeMay, America's Car Museum. Enjoy hundreds of cars, racing simulators, kids' activities, and the new cafe. Make memories that last at americascarmuseum.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Wiener.
Beautiful Monday. If you like it sunny and hot, we're headed for 90 for today. Heat advisory in effect, but then we're going to cool way down to 75. A very pleasant temperature for tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies, but lots of sunshine for the rest of the week. By Friday, we'll be back into the low 80s. Right now in Seattle, it's sunny and 65.
And coming up, we head to Jerusalem and check in with ABC correspondent Jordana Miller. As the U.S. and Iran announced this weekend they have reached an end to the war. Jordana has the details coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Holy smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat is.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
Hi, how can I help?
Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager.
I see.
Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning?
Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
I feel better already.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Home Comfort Alliance, a Carrier factory authorized dealer delivering efficiency, reliability, and quiet performance every time. John Curley here. Upgrade to Carrier cooling and get a heating system free. Use their 60-second price estimator at homecomfortalliance.com.
Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery, and she was home the next day. But we weren't sure if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that she needed, so we called Aegis Living and asked about respite care, a short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike and schedule a visit. It can be a much-needed break for a caregiver and a chance for you and your family to get a look and a taste of what Aegis Living offers. That's aegisliving.com/spike.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
6:47 now. News over the weekend that the U.S. and Iran have reached an understanding to end the war and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, marking an expected end date to the conflict, which began February 28th.
ABC's Jordana Miller joins us live from Jerusalem this morning. Jordana, good morning. What can you tell us about this deal?
Well, the deal appears to be an extension of the ceasefire rather than a final deal that will actually end the war. It gives the U.S. and Iran another 60 days to discuss and agree on several issues, among them the nuclear issue, which, I think is probably the most worrying part of at this stage of the deal between the U.S. and Iran, and that is that all of the ways that Iran could agree to limit its nuclear weapons program are simply not detailed or agreed to in this part of the deal.
President Trump
all of that is going to have to come in the next phase, those 60 days.
Jordana, I know President Trump seemed to indicate on Truth Social yesterday that somehow the U.S. will be able to go into Iran and seize that enriched uranium. What are people telling you about the likelihood of the U.S. being welcome in Iran to do such a thing?
Right. I think it's a pipe dream unless it's really strictly negotiated with Iran. We've heard so many options for nearly 1,000 pounds of enriched uranium. Sometimes we're hearing that it'll be handed over to a third party. Sometimes it'll be handed over to the United States. Sometimes we hear that it's going to be diluted. Will the United States be part of that process? It's unclear. None of it has been agreed to in writing at this point, and I think that's what's disconcerting to so many people, not only here in Israel, but in the region, because it leaves Iran's nuclear program essentially intact. And once they are given so much money, when they're able to sell their oil, because on day one of this deal, the Iranians will be able to sell their oil at higher prices, as we know, and make, millions of dollars, really billions, and that will probably get poured right back into not only their conventional war machine, their missiles, their ballistic missiles, and rebuilding their Navy, but also their nuclear weapons program. Now, the president says that nuclear dust is going to come out, but it's unclear, again, how. And, the Iranians are known for dragging out negotiations for a very, very long time. 60 days will surely not be enough time to get a final deal on these nuclear matters. So that will probably be extended, and who knows how many extensions. And to be honest, there is a chance we won't get a deal between the U.S. and Iran. And then will President Trump follow through with renewing the war, let's say, in 6 months?
Jordana, what does this mean for the Strait of Hormuz?
So that's the only bit of good news. This deal will reopen the Strait of Hormuz, though it won't happen. It'll happen immediately, but traffic through the Strait of Hormuz will not reach pre-war levels for some time. It'll probably take, several weeks. Remember, also, the Iranians have mined the Strait of Hormuz, so that demining is going to take some time to open all the lanes. But eventually, the hope is that within several weeks, we could see, again, close to 100 vessels going in and out of the Strait of Hormuz. Will it be free? I mean, the Iranians are still talking about a fee or a tax or a toll, but the president says it'll be free. We'll have to wait and see.
Talk to us about the situation with Israel and Lebanon. What is the likelihood that in this sort of deal that Israel would not or agree to not attack Lebanese Hezbollah fighters?
Well, I think that's a pipe dream to expect the Israelis not to hit Iran's most powerful proxy that has been attacking Israel consistently since October 7th, minus about a year when there was a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon that the U.S. brokered. But since Operation Epic Fury, Hezbollah has been attacking northern Israel. And I think it's going to be almost impossible to ask the Israelis not to hit Hezbollah. And that's even if Hezbollah is not actively attacking Israel. Israel will see Hezbollah trying to regroup and rebuild and rearm, and they will want to take action. And it's hard to see how the president's going to stop them when that is in Israel's national security interests. In terms of the deal, this memorandum of understanding, there obviously is a lot of deep disappointment here in Israel, not only among in the government, but among the people here, that this country was virtually held hostage for 6 weeks of a war and then another, 8 weeks of this negotiation. And in the end of it, there's still a nuclear threat to, Iran still poses a nuclear threat to Israel. And there's no mention of any limit on its ballistic missile capabilities, which is also a threat to Israel, or its support of proxies. So, for Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, this is really a resounding strategic failure. And I think we're going to see that play out in the election in a few months.
All right, Jordana, thanks for the update this morning. We appreciate it. ABC's Jordana Miller with us from Jerusalem.
It's time to check traffic every 10 minutes. Here's Ted Beener.
Thanks, Charlie. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. We have the usual slowdowns, nothing you can't handle. For example, driving in from the north end, southbound I-5 is moving rather well, while southbound 405 has got some slowing from Canyon Park to 522. Coming in from the south end, northbound 167 slows from Pacific to Willis. Also, northbound 405's got some braking from the Renton curves up into Newcastle, and northbound I-5 is sluggish at times from Marvin Road to DuPont, from Midway to South Center, and from Albro into downtown. Drive times, Renton to Bellevue is up to 25 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is now 50 minutes. That's about a 15-minute delay. 25 of those minutes are from South Center. Puyallup to Renton is 41 minutes. Coming in from the north end, Everett to Seattle is 35 minutes, while Everett to Bellevue is now 45 minutes. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Ted Wiener.
And our forecast, one more hot day. High clouds and 90 for today, but tomorrow will cool down to the mid-70s. It looks like that's where we'll stay for Wednesday. Thursday, upper 70s, and Friday up around 80 again, but lots of sunshine for the week. It's 65 in Seattle right now.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's John Repp is outside Seattle Stadium, a.k.a. Lumen Field, ahead of this afternoon's FIFA World Cup match.
You're listening to Seattle's Morning News here on KIRO News Radio.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value, and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today, and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour, and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. After the announcement of the tentative peace deal between the U.S. and Iran, Vice President J.D. Vance tells ABC News the agreement gives two choices.
If they continue to try to rebuild their nuclear program, this deal ensures they will never have the resources in order to do that. On the other hand, if the Iranians are willing to give a long-term commitment, along with proper verification to giving up that nuclear weapon, we're willing to welcome them into the world economy, to lift some sanctions, and to turn over a new leaf in that relationship.
The deal calls for the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, but sets up a 60-day ceasefire to allow for negotiations about Iran's nuclear program. It's set to be signed Friday. President Trump arrives soon for the G7 summit in the French Alps, a religious site in Ukraine sacred to Orthodox Christians, struck during Russian attacks overnight. The attacks also leaving at least 11 people dead. This is ABC News. Quite the birthday present for President Trump last night. That big UFC cage match set up on the White House lawn.
The president and first lady sat ringside. The matches happening inside an arena built just for the event, including a custom-built octagon under a massive overhead structure called the Claw. 14 athletes competed in 7 fights.
Got to thank President Trump for making this happen.
It's the first professional sporting event ever held on White House grounds. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
A new trade war is brewing, and this one could hit your next glass of wine. President Trump is now threatening a 100% tariff on French wine unless France gets rid of its 3% tax on tech companies. Some luxury watches are disappearing forever. Reuters says several models from brands like Omega and Tag Heuer are being melted down when they're sold because the gold in the watch is worth more than the watch itself. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
At 7:02, here's what's happening on Seattle's Morning News.
Seattle hosts its first ever World Cup match today, what's now called Seattle Stadium. John Repp will have more live.
Seattle police investigating 2 stabbings in the Little Saigon neighborhood. Detectives say 2 men were found wounded near 10th and South Weller last night. Both are in critical at Harborview.
The city of Tacoma has ordered several people illegally living in the historic Temple Theater to move out. It was never intended to be a residential building. The News Tribune reports authorities discovered several renters after an electrical fire broke out on the roof last month.
And the Mariners get their slugger back. Cal Raleigh expected to rejoin the team tomorrow after crushing 5 home runs on his rehab stint in Tacoma.
Come home, Cal. It's 7:03. Let's check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you, and Ted Biener's watching the roads.
Thanks, Manda. This traffic report is brought to you by Harbor Stone Credit Union. There are no blocking issues in your way. Slowdowns, though. Northbound 167 got some slowing from Pacific to Willis. Northbound 405 has got slowing from the Renton Curves into Newcastle. And northbound I-5 pauses from the Nisqually River to the DuPont JBLM gate around the Fife Curve, from Midway to South Center, and again from Albro into downtown. Coming in from the north end, southbound I-5 has got some slowing from 220 at the Mount Lake Terrace down into Shoreline, and southbound 405 has merged crowding to go through the Canyon Park area. The Narrows and Lake Bridges are doing well. Drive times, Arlington to Everett, 15 minutes. Everett to Seattle is just 35 minutes, while Everett to Bellevue, that's 45 minutes. On northbound I-5, Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is now 50 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle has risen to 1 hour and 5 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time is now 42 minutes, while the drive from Renton to Bellevue is 23 minutes. Earn up to $30 per month just for using your Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today at harborstone.com/cash. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
After years of waiting, World Cup kickoff just hours away at Seattle Stadium as Belgium takes on Egypt.
Well, there's plenty of excitement. There's also a lot of concern that a potential tourism boom isn't nearly as large as once expected.
KIRO News Radio's John Repp is live outside the stadium formerly known as Lumen Field with the story. John?
Yeah, that's right, Charlie. Those initial high hopes built around a summer of mega events with packed hotels, well, it just hasn't materialized, according to the latest numbers from the travel analytics firm RateGain, which anticipates World Cup hotel bookings in Seattle down 20% compared to this time last year. This as other U.S. cities are seeing much better numbers associated with the World Cup. I asked Anthony Anton about this. He is the president and CEO of the Washington Hospitality Association. He says he's not surprised by these numbers. In fact, he says some hotels tell him that the industry is in a much worse spot than it was during COVID.
It's kind of a recipe for disaster versus a single ingredient for disaster. You look at an area that's heavily dependent on Canadian travel and international travel, and both, particularly to Asia, and both those things are down.
Combine that with high prices and potentially other factors like crime and safety, and he says these numbers are not going to be enough to be a game changer for local hotels. With that said, he underscores that this remains a fantastic opportunity to showcase Seattle to the rest of the world, and hotels, restaurants, businesses are ready to host and greet the people who are here today. Visit Seattle says it will be releasing numbers connected to the World Cup's economic impact in Seattle after the matches conclude. Reporting live, John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
John, we hear a lot of activity behind you. What's the scene like right now?
Yeah, it is a lot of different people here. You can see a lot of volunteers that are coming in right now who have, their lanyards. You can tell who they are. And then they're right around the corner at the embassy. There are some people who are protesting because there's a possibility of a workers' strike. I'm also seeing food trucks that have come in here and are parked outside. Police, fire, just about every, type of agency that is here trying to make sure that things go smoothly. And then fans starting to show up as well. Saw a couple of jerseys from Belgium, it looks like, just a couple of minutes ago. So we'll be talking with them.
All right, John Repp reporting live. Speaking of merch, Pro Image Seattle sports director Tyrese Thrower spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
Back when the Seahawks were making the Super Bowl run, we tried to get as much World Cup stuff in as possible, and we're selling them right out of the box. So I would say we've been preparing for this since February.
Jerseys, hats, scarves, other gear moving quickly as excitement builds for the Belgium-Egypt matchup.
In all, there will be 6 World Cup games here in Seattle, and some Seattle workers are nervous about who else might show up. According to the Seattle Times, about 50 people rallied at Judkins Park yesterday against the presence of immigration agents in the region. A lead organizer for the union Unite Here Local 8 says she worries ICE could use the games to round up hotel workers. Her union represents 9,000 hospitality workers in Washington and Oregon. She says they now want ICE protections written right into their next contract.
Temperatures in the 80s brought thousands outdoors over the weekend. Even as a heat advisory covered much of western Washington, visitors packed parks, beaches, waterfront destinations to enjoy the temperatures, which were in the upper 80s, low 90s. This woman spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
We have air conditioning, so if it gets really bad, we can hunker down in our living room and watch Netflix.
While most welcome the sunshine, health officials urge caution, reminding people to stay hydrated, wear light clothing, and take breaks from the heat.
A night at the lake turned into tragedy in Issaquah over the weekend. Several Eastside crews rushed to Lake Sammamish State Park yesterday evening after a teenage girl went under. Eastside Fire and Rescue says first responders pulled her out of the water and spent an hour trying to revive her. She didn't make it. Investigators are still trying to figure out exactly what happened.
To Snohomish County, where crews were busy with multiple river rescues. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon.
Firefighters helped rescue 4 people from the South Fork of the Stillaguamish River after they got stranded in the water. Officials say 2 juveniles were wearing life jackets. The decision crews say likely saved their lives.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It's 7:09. It's Monday, June 15th. The excitement around here is building.
Yeah, I have a brother-in-law who's going to the game today.
Really?
And he was able to get the tickets. There is a lottery for them. $175.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding.
So he is a huge soccer fan, and he is so psyched to be able to go see this.
Have a blast.
Yeah. Well, that is Manda Factor. I'm Charlie Harger. You are listening to Seattle's Morning News for Monday, June 15th.
And coming up this hour of the show, we're going to hear from Art Dolan of Battlefield Addiction and Corey Ratliff a recovering addict, about how he found recovery and redemption in his life.
And in today's 735 commentary, we're all about to pay more in sales tax here in King County. Why didn't we have any say in it? I'll explore that at 735.
It's now 7:09. Evacuations after a military jet crashed near Rimrock Lake in Yakima County Saturday, igniting a wildfire. The pilot, ejected safely, was hospitalized. Firefighters held the fire away from the Bear Creek cabins. The Natchez Fire Department says the area on the south side of Rimrock is closed. Campers were being evacuated. A spokesperson with the U.S. Marine Corps says the aircraft was an FA-18 Hornet aircraft assigned to the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing based at Air Station Miramar in San Diego. It's unclear what caused that crash.
Seattle police are searching for a suspect after 2 men were stabbed in the Chinatown International District yesterday. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas.
Police called there just before 7 o'clock to the area of 10th Avenue South and South Weller Street after reports of a man covered in blood. Once they arrived on scene, officers found a man suffering from multiple stab wounds, and while searching for the suspect, found a second victim about 2 blocks away near 12th Avenue South and South Weller Street. That man had also been stabbed. Officers providing first aid before both victims were taken to Harborview Medical Center in critical condition.
After nearly 30 years with no answers, the family is finally learning what happened to a missing relative. According to the New York Times, investigators have identified skeletal remains discovered in a remote section of Olympic National Park in 2000 as Joseph Louis Seurat Jr. The breakthrough came after a DNA sample was analyzed using modern forensic genealogy techniques, connecting investigators with relatives in Hawaii and other states. Officials say the family had not heard from him since 1998.
You might remember that fire that sent dark smoke over downtown Tacoma last month. It happened at the historic Temple Theater. Crews traced it to an electrical problem on the roof, but while checking out the damage, the city found something else: people living there illegally. Spokesperson Maria Lee says the building was never registered for anyone to live in. Now the city has ordered everyone out. The landlord has to pay to relocate those tenants and could be fined up to $500 a day.
Cal Raleigh continued his dominant run in Tacoma over the weekend, launching 2 more home runs in Saturday night's Rainiers game, including the longest homer at Cheney Stadium all season.
Right-hander Hergen from the belts. The pitch is hit high in the air. Deep right field. Out of here.
Way out of there. Rainiers broadcaster Andy Helwig on the call. The Big Dumper has hit 5 home runs in his short rehab stint in Tacoma. He is expected to rejoin the Mariners tomorrow as they host the Baltimore Orioles at T-Mobile Park.
At 7:12, it's time to get a check on the weather with KIRO 7 pinpoint meteorologist Nick Allard. Nick, I couldn't help but notice while outside at a graduation party yesterday, one of my 2 for the weekend, it was so hot, but it was also a little moist, kind of humid. Was it as humid as I thought it was?
No. That's the weird thing.
That's just you, Charlie.
Yeah, that might have just been you. Hey, Ted, can we explain to him offshore wind versus onshore? I'm a little worried about this. Something else was going on. Did you use deodorant? Were you standing in front of a mister?
Well, a miss is.
Okay. Well, look, I'm going to get you checked out. I know a guy at Kaiser who'll help you out.
Okay.
I may need to get you some talc or something, but not really. I mean, I think that we're going to find, in fact, the fire danger was somewhat high because what tends to happen in an offshore wind pattern is a couple things. You've cut off the moderating effect of the ocean. Number 2, you have a different source region, so you don't have ocean air in play. And number 3, the air coming in is actually forced to warm by compression because the air at the surface is higher pressure there. So all of that said, is it usually is very warm and very dry air. So I don't know if maybe... I don't know what was going on.
I was in a steam room at the time.
I was going to say, was it in a sauna? Because I don't know what else could have been happening. And that got us to 89 yesterday. And then today, we're going to be right around the same because the wind direction is shifting for sure. But I don't know that it will impact the Puget Sound area until late in the day. You'll be in the 70s for the coast. You'll be in the 70s across the Strait. And maybe even a few places north of Puget Sound may get the impact of that. But I think Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia are still in the low to mid-90s. I think the Cascade Foothills in the mid-90s. And then tomorrow, we're all going to feel it. It'll be breezy. You'll be in the mid-70s with some morning clouds. The only thing about today that's a little bit different is you will have more cloud cover overall compared to yesterday. High clouds coming in. And then the rest of the week, as we finish out spring, it's mid-70s to low 80s with some sunshine.
All right, a lot of sun to start off the morning. It's 65.
And it's time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. Chris Sullivan is off. Ted Beener's here.
I was going to say, Nick, if Charlie is sweating with a relative humidity of 20%,
Yeah.
what's he going to do with 60%?
Ay,
Right?
ay, ay.
High-powered talc. That's all I can say.
I'm a mess.
Yeah. All right, this traffic report is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance, where have the usual slowdowns, nothing you can't handle. For example, driving in from the north end, southbound I-5 bunches up from the 405 split to the county line, while southbound 405 has got slowing from Canyon Park to 522. Coming in from the south end, northbound 167 slows from State Route 18 to 15th. Northbound 405 has got braking from the Renton curves into Newcastle. And northbound I-5 is sluggish from the Nisqually River to DuPont, down the South Center Hill, and from Albro into downtown. The Narrows and Lake Bridges are doing well. Drive times, Renton to Bellevue is 25 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is now 15 minutes. That's about a 15-minute delay. 25 minutes of those are from South Center. Puyallup to Renton is 40 minutes. Coming in from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle is 40 minutes, while Everett to Bellevue is 46 minutes. Considering a new Lennox cooling system before the summer heat wave or the next summer heat wave, get a price estimate on your phone in just 60 seconds from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com now. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Wiener.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
Thanks for joining us. You may remember Corey Ratliff. He was in a video that went viral earlier this year. Here's a little bit of what he had to say.
It took me 45 days in jail to finally get my mind right, and hold myself accountable. Before that, I was in the streets all the way from Aurora to Tacoma, and I was being enabled from the city with free pipes, free foil, free housing, places that police can't really come in and do anything about. So now we're encouraging and enabling a drug addict and a homeless to be comfortable in that situation. That does not help the situation.
And I am so happy to introduce you to Corey Ratliff. He is here along with Art Dolan from Battlefield Addiction. Corey, your words that you needed something a little stronger than just somebody handing you a pipe and telling you everything was going to be okay. A lot of people heard that. You are helping a lot of people. Tell us a little bit about your story. What inspired you to go up in front of the council?
Honestly, it was hope and chance, and got hit up by Andrea. I was at work.
Andrea Suarez, we heard Seattle.
Suarez, yeah. And I was at work, and Brandon was like, "Hey, you're not coming to work tomorrow. You're going downtown to tell your testimony." So, had a couple minutes before we got there to kind of think about what the topic was. And when we got there, I just spoke from the heart, from my experience and what I know has worked for me and what could possibly be the outlet for the next person, just knowing how easy it is to be enabled from our city. Just it encourages us to stay high and be comfortable. There's no struggle being homeless anymore. You get fed, you get housed, you get bathed, you get high, and all safely. And that's what they call harm reduction. You can get high safely, but really it's just behind closed doors. Yeah. You're still with the risk of dying, overdose, and you're just not, the public doesn't see it, so they think that the problem is being helped or being fixed, but it's making it worse in my eyes.
The way I've seen it is people are being warehoused. They're being kept sick instead of getting healthy. What did it mean for you to get involved with Art and Battlefield?
Honestly, it was huge. I had been at a house with Hope and Chance, and I had been clean for a few months, and fentanyl was even in some of those houses, unfortunately. And I took a hit one night, and I overdosed. 4 Narcans, 15 minutes of CPR, and that's the first time I ever overdosed. Being in the streets for 13 years, I never overdosed. And to know that was it was a wrap. I was like, I'm too young, I got too much to do still. And so I went to a Solutions at Battlefield. And after that Solutions group, I went to shake Art's hand, first time meeting him, and say, thanks for having me out. And he said, what do you think you're doing, bro? Go get your you're moving in tonight. So I was like, damn. Went and packed my stuff, came back 10 minutes later, and I've been there for a couple months, and it's such a good program. I'm working every day. I've got money saved up. I'm taking care of my legal responsibilities. My warrants are getting taken care of. I'm not worried about survival mode anymore. I'm not worried about what am I going to eat tonight, how am I going to get high. I'm worried about what am I going to do to continue to build my future. And that's a feeling I haven't been able to think about for so many years. It's always been today, if we make it to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm starting to get my life back in order. My family's back in touch with me. People that have been in the streets with me struggling are like, bro, I'm tired. How did you do it? What how do I get clean? How do I get sober? So I'm trying to lead by example for my own family and for my other friends, brothers and sisters that I struggled with in the streets together.
Can you tell me a little bit about supportive housing? Because I think a lot of people think, well, that's where people are going and they're getting better. What is it like behind the scenes in terms of people who are actively using?
To be honest with you, it's ugly. You get in these places, police are barely there. You're being given the tools to get high. You get permanent housing. You get fed once a day. You can go out and do all your crime and have a safe place to hide, you know. And behind these closed doors, there's prostitution still. There's still drug dealers in every floor, 5 floors, 6 floors high. Every person in that whole complex is high, you know.
And so is that rare or is it common for what you're describing?
Every single one I've been in has been just like that. They pick us up off the street in a tent or an encampment. They'll take a hotel, they'll put us in a hotel, or they'll build a brand new building and fill it with us from the streets. And if you think that's going to make us magically stop doing what we've been doing for years overnight, you're crazy. You know, now we have an apartment that we didn't have to pay for, free for 6 months or forever, however long. And now we have a safe place to get even more high and increase our habit intake and get so comfortable that there is no thought of getting my life together because my life's together.
That's where Art Dolan comes in. So, Art, you actively intervene. You told Corey to get his stuff together, that he was going with you that night.
Well, this was a collaboration of 3 programs. Corey was in jail, and he reached out to We Heart Seattle and Andrea Suarez, and she got him hooked up with Hope and Chance, which is another program fighting with every dollar they got and everything they're doing. And he was there, and then he came to my program, and you know, it just happened to be he was a fit for mine. So, you know, this is why we're here with We Heart and Battlefield, is because our organizations don't get any money from the government.
Yeah.
We are the organizations that are trying to get people clean and independent, and we need to raise money. We need money for our organizations. We need people to donate. Please donate. Go to Battlefield. Corey came, and, you know, Andrea's paying a lot of funding Corey to come to my program out of her program that she's trying to raise money. And so and a lot of our donors are the same donors. So we're just fighting with every dollar we got to help somebody reach their potential.
Corey, promise me this. I know you're going to take it one day at a time, but when you hit a year, whatever that anniversary day is, I want you to come back in here. We're going to talk about that, okay?
Let's put it on the books. It'll be March 3rd, March 3rd, 2027.
Okay, all right. We will have that on the books. Such an honor to meet you and see you as you're on this journey. Art, good on you, and Battlefield Addiction for what you're doing, bringing people like Corey their lives back. Thank you, Art.
Thank you.
What a powerful story.
Yeah, and it is truly one day at a time for Corey.
Yeah.
I just was texting with him last week. He is still working the program. He's doing the best he can. And think about that as a parent. Your child is in the throes of addiction. Don't you want someone like Art coming out and saying, "Yeah, just get your stuff together. You're coming with me now," instead of keep on using and here's a pipe.
I hope to see him in March.
I hope so too. 7:23 now. We check traffic on the 3s, and Sully's off this morning, so we say hello to Ted Beener.
Thank you. This traffic report is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Just got word of a new crash on northbound I-5 at 272nd in Federal Way. Looks to be over on the right shoulder at this particular point. Otherwise, northbound 167's got some slowing from State Route 18 to Willis. Northbound 405 got some slowing from the Renton Curves up into Newcastle. And northbound I-5 pauses at times from Marvin Road to the DuPont JBLM gate, from Midway to South Center, and again from Mid-Boeing Field into downtown. Coming in from the north end, southbound I-5's got some slowing from the 405 split to the county line, and southbound 405 has crowding from Canyon Park to 522. Drive times, Arlington to Everett, 15 minutes. Everett to Seattle is 40 minutes, while Everett to Bellevue is 51 minutes. On northbound I-5, Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is 48 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle is an hour and 5 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time, 41 minutes, while the drive from Renton to Bellevue, that is now up to 33 minutes. That's about a 5-minute delay. Text APP to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Bean.
Our forecast, sunshine, some high clouds, and 90 for today. We'll cool way down to 75 for tomorrow. The rest of the week looks great. Mid and upper 70s, possibly into the low 80s by Friday, but lots of sunshine for the week. Right now in Seattle, it is sunny and 65 degrees.
Coming up, we're gearing up for the World Cup. John Repp will join us live from the Stadium District. And in the 735 commentary, if you live in King County, you're about to pay just a little more in sales tax, and you will have no say in it.
You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, "I understand there may be a news story coming out."
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, hosted by Open Road RV, free parking and admission.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer means I have a laundry list of exterior home improvements to tackle and no time to do it. Fortunately, the team in the red van has me covered. And of course, I'm talking about Valentine Roofing, the pros that keep me off extension ladders and precarious positions. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. Once again, they've been awarded the 2025 Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards for Roofing by the Seattle Times. And it really comes down to two things: the best product backed by a lifetime warranty and exceptional customer service. They call that the Valentine Experience. It's seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down, 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing to schedule your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Carrie injured her back years ago. This is her story.
My herniated disc was so significant that they did the first surgery, the laminectomy and a microdiscectomy. The first surgery failed, and I ended up with another herniated disc, which is pretty typical that herniations just move up your spine. The doctor was recommending another fusion surgery, so I researched alternative therapies. Sound Pain Solutions developed a plan that included bioelectric therapy, laser therapy, decompression, pressure wave therapy, in addition to rehab. Once we started that comprehensive approach, it went phenomenally. They honestly have given me my life back, and I'm happy to help other patients find sound pain solutions sooner.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, it's 7:31. Well, the doors don't open for another hour and a half, but fans are starting to arrive outside what's now called Seattle Stadium for today's World Cup match.
Yeah, here we go. KIRO News Radio's John Rep is live outside the stadium where fans say they can't wait for a full day of excitement. John?
Yeah, the barriers, the gates are all in place. Food trucks are setting up. And hour by hour, more people are streaming towards Seattle Stadium, where there is excitement that far eclipses a Sounders match or a Seahawks game. Now, early in the morning, I saw the vendors, the volunteers, the support staff arriving, energy drinks in hand. These are the ones that are the backbone of this whole operation. But I am now seeing some more soccer jerseys as fans begin to get here, including Cipriano Gutierrez, who lives in Seattle, is wearing a Belgium jersey, and although he admits he is not a diehard fan.
I'm just a fan of the sports, the whole soccer environment.
I asked him if he just basically picked a team, and he said, yeah, pretty much, yeah. He won this ticket in a raffle and says something that I've been hearing from other passionate soccer fans I've been talking to this morning. He can't believe that the World Cup is here. It's in his hometown, and he says there's some civic pride at play. He's seeing the city respond.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just the crowd, how much Seattle has organized, planned as a resident from the very start.
Now, if you're planning to head down here, you are going to want to take some extra time, a lot of extra time. I'm seeing some people coming in here looking for parking, turning around, driving away. It's going to be a nightmare, and this is only just the beginning. But the bottom line here is that the stadium is ready. More people are on site, and expecting a lot more fans here in the next couple of hours.
All right,
Charlie,
John.
Amanda.
Sounds like that's going to be a party all day long.
Crowds and crowds and crowds of
that's
people.
what it looks like in all of these other venues. So let's hope that we keep it up. I know those merchants, those hotels are all looking forward to it. So we'll be on top of it.
It's 7:33. That's time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you. And Ted Beener is in for Sully.
Thank you, Amanda. This traffic report is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. We got a crash that's reported on northbound I-5 at 272nd in Federal Way. Looks to be over on the right shoulder. Just got some slowing as you go past the scene. Otherwise, we have the usual slowdowns. For example, driving in from the north end, southbound I-5 bunches up from the 405 split down to the county line, while southbound 405 has slowing from Canyon Park 2522. Coming in from the south end, northbound 167 is pretty sluggish from State Route 18 to Willis. Northbound 405 has got braking from the Renton Curves up into Newcastle. And northbound I-5, that is a slow go from the Nisqually River to DuPont, from 320th to past 272nd, down the South Center Hill, and from Albro into downtown. Drive times, Auburn to Renton is 23 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, that's up to 35 minutes. That's just about a 5-minute delay. Better Way to Seattle is 50 minutes. 28 of those are from South Center. And coming in from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle is 46 minutes, while Everett to Bellevue, that is up to 55 minutes. Considering a new carrier cooling system before the next summer heat wave? Get a price estimate on your phone in 60 seconds from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com now. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic.
One more hot day. We did hit a record yesterday. High clouds 94 today. It was 89 yesterday. And then we'll cool off to 59 overnight. Tomorrow, partly sunny and 75. Same deal on Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, just a little bit warmer. We'll be closer to either side of 80. Lots of sunshine for the week, though. Right now in Seattle, it's sunny and warmed up to 67.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It's time for the 7:35 commentary. On Friday, the King County Transportation District voted 5-4 to raise your sales tax by 0.1%. You didn't get a say, you won't get one. About $100 million a year, roughly $40 out of a median household. It becomes law January 1st of next year. I want functioning roads. My kids need to get to school. I'd prefer the bridges stay up. Roads aren't free. None of that's in dispute. What is in dispute is how 5 elected people just decided on their own that they'd pay for those roads with your money. On a Friday, in a meeting most of you didn't know that was happening, with an authority King County voters declined to give them 12 years ago. The Transportation District is the King County Council wearing a different hat. Same 9 people, different name on the agenda, different powers. Sitting as that board, they can impose this tax on their own with no ballot, no campaign, not even a signature yes or no from King County Executive Gurmai Zahulai, who has no role here. Now, King County voters rejected this exact transportation tax amount in 2014. The board imposed it 12 years later anyway. Same district, same taxing authority, same 0.1%. Voters said no back then, 55-45. District's been sitting there with this taxing authority unused ever since. 12 years. Same board, different people in the seats, just used it the first time. The press release calls this prudent stewardship. When the voters say no, the board says wait. When the board says yes, without the voters, there's no second vote. Now, the math is real. Roads Division is short about $200 million a year. The capital fund is on track to be wiped out by 2028. State law caps property tax growth at 1% a year. Gas tax revenue is flat. The county grew from 1.8 million people in 2006 to nearly 2.4 million now, with more cars, more potholes, and less revenue per pothole. I am not arguing the math. I'm arguing about what happens when a board 9 people deep decides the math is now their permission slip. Seattle taxpayers, by the way, got hit twice on this one. 8 city council members signed a letter last week objecting to how the money would be carved up. Seattle pays about 40% of the sales tax King County collects. Most of the new tax funds county roads in unincorporated areas. A smaller portion gets handed back to the cities for their own roads. So under the old formula, Seattle was getting about $4.8 million a year back from that King County pool. Under this new cap the board just approved, Seattle drops to $1.9 million. So Seattle will pay more into a system than any other city and get less out of it than it used to. So where does that money go instead? Among other places, Medina, Hunts Point, Clyde Hill, the wealthy East Side enclaves where median home values run north of $3 million. They're now getting subsidized road money out of Seattle pockets, courtesy of a board that didn't ask voters whether this was a good idea. Seattle City Council member Eddie Lynn called it what it is, regressive tax where Seattle taxpayers subsidize the road budgets of some of the richest zip codes in America. Isn't a fancier tax formula. The fix is going back to the people. If county roads need $100 million a year, make the case. Take it to the ballot. Show voters the bridges, show them the flood damage, show them the structural deficit. Maybe they say yes this time. Maybe they say no again. Either way, they've spoken and will have to live with the consequences of their decision. The transportation district chose not to ask. Voters said no in 2014. The board said yes in 2026. The money starts collecting in 6.5 months. And that is the 735 commentary for Monday, June 15th, 2026. You can always text your thoughts to the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476. Join the chat at our YouTube live at KIRO News Radio, and you can always leave a comment on mynorthwest.com.
7:40 now. Ted, what's coming up in traffic?
We don't have any blocking issues, but we do have slowdowns. I'll have drive times here in just a few moments.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Are you a homeowner, 62 or older, and realize that your Social Security and other income may not carry you through your retirement years? Have you ever thought about a reverse mortgage? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at Tila Mortgage, a local company serving Washington residents for 30 years. And if you want to know how a reverse mortgage works or have questions like, are reverse mortgages safe? Will I still own my home? Or do I really have the option of not making monthly mortgage payments? Call Tila for a no-pressure conversation. They'll answer your questions with personalized recommendations and loan options that can safely help you improve your monthly cash flow, increase your available income, pay off debt, or make home improvements. Call Tila today. Tila, spelled Tila, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TilaMortgage.com. Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
It's 7:43 now. We check traffic on the threes with Ted Beener.
Alrighty, there are no reported blocking issues. That's always good news. We do have slowing, though. For instance, on northbound 167 from State Road 18 to Willis. Northbound 405 has got braking at times from the Renton curves into Newcastle. And northbound I-5, that's got slowing from Marvin Road to the DuPont JBLM gate, from Midway to 200th, and again from Albro into downtown. Now, if you're driving in from the north end, westbound across the trestle, that has become a little sluggish. Southbound I-5 has slowing from the 405 split down into Shoreline, and southbound 405 has crowding from Canyon Park to the 160th interchange. Drive times, Arlington to Everett, 15 minutes. Everett to Seattle Bellevue, both of those are now about 50 minutes. Coming in from the south end, Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is 48 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle, that is an hour and 5 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time, that's eased now to about 38 minutes, while the drive from Renton to Bellevue, that is up to 41 minutes. That's about a 10-minute delay. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Beamer.
And our forecast, one more hot day to bear. We'll be up around 90 for today. That will be a record. 59 overnight, and then we're going to cool off for the mid-70s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Lots of sunshine this week. No rain in the foreseeable future. Thursday and Friday closer to 80 both days as the sunshine continues. Right now in Seattle, it's beautiful. Sunny skies and 67.
Coming up, it's Crime and Punishment, our weekly check-in with Casey McNerney of the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office with an update on the county's response to the community outcry along Aurora Avenue. This is Seattle's Morning News.
Remember when you didn't have to think about energy? You just had it? Well, now it's the midday crash, the sleepless nights, the moments where you catch yourself thinking, what on earth happened to me? Well, here's the thing. Nothing's wrong with you. Your hormones just stopped holding up their end of the deal. At Juvacor Health and Wellness Center, hormone replacement therapy isn't a guessing game. It starts with a real sit-down conversation with a female provider who has heard your story before because she hears it every single day. Her name is Dr. Lucy Hostetter. She's a board-certified physician. She has spent 7 years doing one thing very well. That is helping women feel like themselves again. Your treatment is built around your labs, your symptoms, and your life. And the follow-up is real because feeling better shouldn't be a one-appointment promise. Now they have 2 convenient locations in Tacoma and Bellevue. They expanded from their flagship home at Seattle Regenerative Medicine Center. Great care is now closer than ever. Stop Googling symptoms at 2 o'clock in the morning. Start a conversation with someone who actually has the answers. JuvaCoreHealth.com. That's Juve, corehealth.com. Feel like yourself again.
Nothing worse than clutter. With Closets by Design, everything will finally have its place. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Closet.byDesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel. A $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
Monday morning makes it time for Crime and Punishment, our weekly interview segment with Casey McNerney at the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. And Casey, one of the things we have been paying close attention to here on Seattle's Morning News is the ongoing situation on Aurora Avenue, where you have gun battles basically happening weekly, if not more. And neighbors have said enough is enough. And one of the big things I think a lot of people are saying is, what can we do to address it, in particularly for the Johns, who basically go up into that area and utilize the services of what are frequently underage prostitutes?
Yeah. What King County prosecutors can do is charge those human trafficking cases and the cases involving children. When you have sex buyers with adults, those
under the law are misdemeanors that go to the city attorney's office. But, we read the comments too in the many stories that have been written about Aurora. And one question that came up a lot last week was essentially folks said, why is it so hard to charge human trafficking? Just make an arrest, bring them to court. It's actually really simple. And I wish it was that simple. That really shows the difference between the Facebook standard of what people think is the only things that are needed and the legal standard, which has a much higher, very high burden of proof. And that can be pretty frustrating for people, especially driving up and down that strip saying, oh, come on, you can do more than this. If it were easier to bring to court, of course, police and prosecutors would bring it more frequently. Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes talked about a case that went to the feds just last week. And that investigation took almost a year to build up, which understandably is pretty frustrating because neighbors can't wait a year.
No, they can't. And that's what becomes frustrating for them is they see the crime happening every day and they're up to no good. When you hear about the human costs, the human suffering here, are there prosecutors in your office trying to reach a solution that we may not even be aware of?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a good meeting last week with the city attorney's office and our office, and the mayor was there and the police chief was there and threw around ideas of what can we do that maybe we haven't thought of yet. And it was a very good discussion. There was a lot of things that were brought up that hadn't been thought of before, and there's no magic solution, but there are ideas that are being discussed, and probably more will roll out in the next few weeks.
The neighbors I speak to are terrified. They're terrified not only of getting hurt, but they're also terrified because it's basically organized crime happening in their neighborhood, and they're afraid of retribution if they do help with the authorities. What can be done about that?
That's another thing that we hear too. And so I asked Acting Lieutenant Patrick Michaud about that, and he had some great advice for how people can help if they don't want to share their name or share very limited information. That's one of the big concerns is when you're seeing a crime happen, when you call 911 right away, you sometimes forget that you're creating a public record by that call and by reporting it. And it can be pretty tough. We see this all the time where people see their name in a public record request later and go, I don't want my name out there, but they still want to help. So how do you balance those two? Here's what Lieutenant Michaud had to say.
When you initially speak with an officer, all you have to do is just request that your information not be disclosed. It's that simple. It's just a box for the officer to check. But when you tell them that, they have a responsibility to click that box when they're taking the report, and your information then does not get sent out when people do a public disclosure request, and it will all be handled that way. My belief is that the courts are able to still see it and able to get a hold of you if need be. But also, if you do not wish to speak with them, it's still a conversation that you had with an officer so that we can then say that, yeah, I spoke with this individual, and we can at least use it that way. Again, it comes down to you just telling an officer, hey, I don't want this to be disclosed, and we can then still use the information that you're providing us.
Okay, I had no idea that was even a possibility, so that might bring some peace of mind to people who really do want to help.
Yeah, hopefully, and it works for all neighborhoods, not just Aurora. So if there's something that you see and you want to help out, that's a good way to do it.
Casey McNair, the Crime and Punishment every Monday here on Seattle's Morning News. Casey, thanks for your time this morning.
You bet. Great to see you, Charlie.
It's 7:53. That's time to check traffic every 10 minutes. Sully's off. Ted Beaner's here.
Thank you. And just in, first, this traffic report is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. On southbound 405, just south of 195th and Bothell, we've got a new disabled vehicle. It's blocking the right lane, and we have a growing backup there. So be aware of that if that is your commute. Otherwise, we have the usual slowdowns, nothing you can't handle. For example, driving in from the north end, southbound I-5 bunches up as you go across the Snohomish Valley, and from the 405 split down into Shoreline. Coming in from the south end, northbound 167 slows from Algona to Willis. Northbound 405 is braking from the Renton curves up into Newcastle. And northbound I-5 pauses at times from Marvin Road to DuPont, from 512 to 38th in Tacoma, around the 5 curve, and again from Albro into downtown. Drive times, Auburn to Renton is 25 minutes. That's a 5-minute delay. Renton to Bellevue, that's up to 45 minutes. That's about a 10-minute delay. Federal Way into Seattle, that's 56 minutes, a 10-minute delay. 28 minutes of those are from South Center. And coming in from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle has eased to 42 minutes, while Everett to Bellevue is up to 55 minutes. Subaru of Puyallup has dependable, fuel-efficient, all-wheel drive models, including the redesigned Subaru Outback. Find stress-free pricing and offers at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. I'm Ted Wiener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Our forecast to likely break a record today. We're looking for a high of 90 in the sunshine. Some high clouds, too. Overnight low 59. Tomorrow and Wednesday, highs down to the mid-70s. Lots of sunshine. Thursday and Friday, it looks like we'll be on either side of 80. But nothing but sunshine in the forecast for the foreseeable future. Right now in Seattle, it is sunny and 67.
Remember, you can always contact the show a couple different ways. First of all, the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476. And we're on YouTube Live. You can join the chat there at KIRO News Radio.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's John Rep previews the start of the World Cup matches here in Seattle.
And at 8:15, an update on the peace deal agreement, memorandum of understanding expected between the U.S. and Iran. We'll check in with ABC correspondent Jordana Miller in Jerusalem.
This is Seattle's Morning News.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. And once again, they've been awarded the best in the Pacific Northwest for roofing by the Seattle Times in 2025. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down and 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing today, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we make protecting your home simple and affordable. With flexible financing and 20-plus years of trusted service, you can count on lasting quality from Guardian. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
John Curley here. You know a smart thing to do right now? Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Choose a Lennox cooling system and get a heating system free. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Vice President J.D. Vance calls it a big win for anyone who cares about stability in the Middle East. The U.S. and Iran reaching a deal to extend the ceasefire for another 60 days and to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Iran saying it will dismantle its nuclear program and stop funding of terrorist organizations in exchange for the lifting of international sanctions.
We're willing to give significant sanctions relief if the Iranians make the kind of long-term commitments that are necessary to be a normal country, to give up their nuclear weapons program, to stop funding terrorist activities all over the Middle East.
That's Vance on ABC News. The G7 summit getting underway this week in the French Alps. The Iran war, one of the topics. President Trump saying the Europeans didn't do enough to help in the conflict. Fox Corporation's buying the streaming platform Roku in a cash and stock deal valued at approximately $22 billion. The deal gives Fox access to the Roku channel. This is ABC News. The New York Knicks waited 53 years for another NBA championship, and they got one. They'll get a ticker tape parade in Lower Manhattan on Thursday. Last night on the ice, a drought that wasn't quite so long ended for the Carolina Hurricanes. Here's ABC's Chuck Severson.
Their first NHL Stanley Cup championship in 20 years, beating the Vegas Golden Knights 3-0.
Going to clinch it appropriately with a total team effort and a shutout. The Carolina Hurricanes have won the Stanley Cup for the second time.
The ABC ESPN coverage. Jordan Stahl crowned MVP.
It's amazing. It's just something I've been going after ever since we got the first one. I mean, you want to win it again and again and again. And what a feeling, what a battle.
The game at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Bidding wars for homes may be fading away. A new report from Realtor.com says the long-running sellers market may be losing steam. Homes are sitting on the market longer than they have the last few years. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
8:02 on Seattle's Morning News. Here's what's happening.
The city is buzzing today as Seattle hosts its first World Cup match at what's now called Seattle Stadium. John Repp is down there. He'll join us live.
Search is underway for a suspect after two stabbings overnight in Seattle's Little Saigon. Detectives say two men were found bleeding near South Weller Street. Both are at Harborview.
And the mayor of Tiny Wilkison has stepped down to fight full-time for the town's roads after the state closed the century-old Fairfax Bridge. That's the only car route into key parts of Mount Rainier National Park.
Well, we check traffic every 10 minutes. We head over to the traffic desk. Sully is off today, so we check in with Ted Beener.
Thank you, Charlie. This traffic report is brought to you by Harbor Stone Credit Union on southbound 405 just south of 195th in Bothell. Disabled vehicles blocking the right lane with traffic backing up into Canyon Park. Looking at the cams, look like crews are trying to move that vehicle out of the way. Your Linwood to Bellevue drive time, that is up to 45 minutes. Otherwise, northbound 167 pauses at times from State Route 18 all the way up to 405. Northbound 405 has brake lights from the Renton curves up into Newcastle. And northbound I-5 has occasional slowing from Marvin Road to the DuPont JBLM gate, up the hill to State Route 18, down the South Center Hill, and again from Albro into downtown. Coming in from the north end, southbound I-5 has slowing from the 405 split into Shoreline and now from Lake City Way across the Ship Canal Bridge. Drive times, Arlington to Everett 15 minutes. Everett to Seattle has eased to 37 minutes. Coming in from The south end, Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is 45 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle, that is improved to an hour. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time is 39 minutes, while the drive from Renton to Bellevue, that is up to 42 minutes. That's about a 10-minute delay. Earn up to $30 per month just for using your Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today at harborstone.com/cash. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Biener.
8:04 on the Monday, June 15th, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Today's the day Seattle's World Cup summer officially kicks off. A crowd of volunteers and vendors at Lumen Field, it's now called Seattle Stadium. They're there now bracing for thousands of fans who are arriving in force.
Yeah, the FIFA people are going to come after you for that, Manda. But despite the festivities, the latest numbers show some big warning signs for the region's hotels. We check in with KIRO News Radio's John Rep for that part of the story.
Yeah, Charlie, two things are happening here. On the ground, you have fans here who are just arriving in force. I'm seeing more and more jerseys every time I turn around. The gates open less than an hour from now. But when you look at this from a hospitality perspective, from the hotel industry, the latest World Cup index from RateGain, that's a global travel analytics company, shows that hotel bookings in Seattle are down by 20% compared to this time last year. That's with the World Cup factored in. And this is all coming at a time when you would expect everything to be packed. So what's going on? I talked with the president and CEO of the Washington Hospitality Association to find out, and Anthony Anton tells me that a couple of things are at play.
The hotel industry is in really rough shape. I've talked to a lot of operators who feel like today is worse than COVID.
And what's really interesting is that other U.S. World Cup cities are seeing a boost in hotel numbers. Seattle is an outlier. Anton says you have a couple of factors that are driving this. One big thing is that fewer people are driving down from Canada.
The expense issues of Seattle are having an impact. The reputation of the safety issues of Seattle is having an impact. And I think the Canadian interplay is having an impact. We'll know for certain here in the next week.
Now, Anton emphasizes that even with the down numbers, hotels, restaurants, businesses are welcoming the fans. They are thrilled the World Cup is here, and this is an opportunity for the world to see Seattle in a different light, in a positive light. And I can tell you right now that all systems are go. I'm seeing fans not just with Egypt and Belgium jerseys, but of course Sounders jerseys. There's a guy walking by right now with an Argentina jersey. Just soccer fans here, ready to have a good time today and ready for the excitement of the match that begins at noon. Reporting live, John Rep, KIRO News Radio.
Well, with the World Cup here, federal immigration agents are here too, and that has some people worried. According to the Seattle Times, about 50 of them gathered at Judkins Park yesterday for a rally of songs and speeches against ICE. One person waved a giant flag reading ICE out now. An organizer with the hospitality union Unite Here Local 8 says she's afraid agents could use the games to round up local workers.
Fans are snapping up team merchandise ahead of today's match. Pro Image Seattle, that's a shop right across from Lumen Field. Well, here's sports director Tyrese Thrower. He spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
Back when the Seahawks were making the Super Bowl run, we tried to get as much World Cup stuff in as possible, and we're selling them right out of the box. So I would say we've been preparing for this since February.
Jerseys, hats, scarves, other World Cup gear moving quickly as the excitement builds ahead of today's Belgium-Egypt matchup.
I don't think I'd be wearing a scarf today.
No, today is way too hot for that.
Hey, just a heads up, if you're riding Sound Transit to any of the matches, you won't be able to take your bike on board Link or Sounder trains. This will open up more space for anticipated packed trains, according to Sound Transit. Cyclists are still encouraged to ride to the transit stations, where bike link rooms and lockers will be free on game days.
Yes, sir!
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Me mind on fire, me soul on fire, feeling hot, hot, hot.
I really thought you might sing along, Charlie.
I know. I'll just bring this up for you. I look nothing like Buster Poindexter.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah. Look. Absolutely nothing like him at all. So thank you for that. Hot, hot, hot. That was always one of those fun songs in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
80s. Turns out he is like a really, a punk rock singer, New York Dolls. But that album, so memorable.
Fun stuff. He's Charlie Harger. I'm Manda Factor. Ted Beener in for Sully today.
It's hot, Ted. We're going to talk about some records throughout the hour, but this is, the hottest one of the year so far?
That is correct. Absolutely.
Okay, we will be checking in with you and Nick Allard for sure as we make our way through this morning of Seattle's Morning News, sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
Coming up this hour, an update on the peace deal set to be signed between the U.S. and Iran. From Jerusalem, we'll hear from ABC reporter Jordana Miller.
And Angela Poe Russell will stop by the show. Seattle's Denny Blaine Park has been a controversial location for residents as a longtime nude beach. Judge this week will decide on whether the nudity can continue going forward. Angela has been to that park, and she'll join us with all her thoughts.
It's 8:09. Speaking of hot, and despite a heat advisory and temperatures in the 90s, Seattle area residents and visitors spent the weekend soaking up the sunshine. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha.
People were out in force, soaking in the soccer celebration areas, along with the heat, trying to snag cold drinks since hydration is key.
They really got lucky with the weather this week.
So, what do you do to beat the heat?
I don't know, go inside best I can, go get in the water.
Sunscreen day today for sure?
Absolutely.
For sure. At Madison Park Beach, getting by or in the water was the way to deal with the 80-degree temperatures most of us just aren't used to. But beating the heat can be a chore for some and fun for others.
At 8:10, it turns out people were living inside an iconic Tacoma landmark when it caught fire last month. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon.
Fire officials say it was an accidental electrical fire. And last week, the city posted a do not occupy notice on the theater door saying the fire investigation found illegal rental units inside. According to the city, the owner will be required to pay for the tenant's relocation and may be fined hundreds of dollars a day if they don't comply.
I live on the block, but, I'm trying to reflect now if I've seen any suspicious activity, but I mean, that's a bit of a surprise to me, honestly.
The city says it's unclear how many people were living there or for how long.
A domestic violence call in Spanaway turned into a police pursuit. Pierce County deputies responded last Monday after a woman reported her husband was violating a no-contact order by showing up at her home, trying to break in, and repeatedly calling and messaging her. Deputies say the suspect drove away when they arrived and took off again when spotted a short time later.
Get on the ground. You're going to get dragged down. Lay on the ground or I'll put you on the ground.
The 28-year-old was arrested, booked on charges including burglary, felony no-contact order violation, and attempting to elude police.
The mayor of the tiny town of Wilkeson has stepped down. Jamie Pololi resigned Thursday, then started a new job with the town the very next day. She'll now work as a government relations consultant, fighting for the Carbon Canyon's roads and bridges. Pololi made a name for herself, taking on the state over the closed Fairfax Bridge. The state shut the 103-year-old bridge down last spring. It was the only way to drive into key parts of Mount Rainier National Park. Since then, the town of about 500 people has struggled to hang on.
Cal Raleigh continued his dominant run in Tacoma over the weekend, launching 2 more home runs in Saturday night's Rainiers game, including the longest homer at Cheney Stadium all season.
Right-hander Hergen from the belts. The pitch is hit high in the air. Deep right field. Out of here.
Rainiers broadcaster Andy Helwig on the call. The Big Dumper has hit 5 home runs in his short rehab stint in Tacoma. He's expected to rejoin the Mariners tomorrow as they host the Baltimore Orioles at T-Mobile Park.
At 8:12, let's get a check on the weather. Here's KIRO 7 pinpoint meteorologist Nick Allard.
Beautiful sunshine today to start, but it is going to be a little bit cloudier as we head throughout the day with a lot of high clouds coming in, and temperatures are going to be hot. We'll be in the upper 80s and lower 90s today. Then tomorrow we get a huge difference. So we're still under the influence of that offshore wind today. Tomorrow, mid-70s, breezy, cooler onshore air. Hottest places today, if not the South Sound, will be in the foothills east of Seattle in the 90s, mid-90s. But tomorrow, about 75, and then mid-70s to low 80s the rest of the week with a lot of sunshine. And I think the first day of summer, last day of spring, right there in the low 80s.
All right, already starting to tick up in Enumclaw, where it's 72 right now, 71 in Olympia, 68 in Everett, and in Seattle, sunny and 67.
It's 8:13. Ted, what's happening on the roads?
Well, this traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. On southbound 405, just south of 195th in Bothell, that disabled vehicle has been moved over to the right shoulder. All lanes are back open. Your Linwood to Bellevue drive time, that's 45 minutes. And on northbound 99 near 59th Street in Seattle, there we have a new crash. Otherwise, we've got the usual slowdowns. For example, driving in from the north end, southbound I-5 bunches up from the 405 split down into Shoreline, and again from Lake City Way across the Ship Canal Bridge. Coming in from the south end, northbound 167 has some braking from State Route 18 to Willis. Northbound 405 is sluggish from the West Valley Highway all the way up through Newcastle. And northbound I-5 pauses at times from Marvin Road to DuPont, past the Tacoma Mall, and again from Albro into downtown. Drive times, Auburn to Renton, that is now 30 minutes. That's about a 10-minute delay. On northbound 405, Renton to Bellevue is now 42 minutes. That's about a 10-minute delay. Federal Way to Seattle is 50 minutes. 30 of those are from South Center. And from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle has improved to 35 minutes. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Wiener.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974. This is KIRO News Radio.
News over the weekend that the U.S. and Iran have reached an understanding to end the war and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, marking an expected end date to the conflict, which began February 28th.
ABC's Jordana Miller joins us from Jerusalem this morning. Jordana, good morning. What can you tell us about this deal?
Well, the deal appears to be an extension of the ceasefire rather than a final deal that will actually end the war. It gives the U.S. and Iran another 60 days to discuss and agree on several issues, among them the nuclear issue, which, I think is probably the most worrying part of at this stage of the deal between the U.S. and Iran, and that is that all of the ways that Iran could agree to limit its nuclear weapons program are simply not detailed or agreed to in this part of the deal.
President Trump
all of that is going to have to come in the next phase, those 60 days.
Jordana, I know President Trump seemed to indicate on Truth Social yesterday that somehow the U.S. will be able to go into Iran and seize that enriched uranium. What are people telling you about the likelihood of the U.S. being welcome in Iran to do such a thing?
Right. I think it's a pipe dream unless it's really strictly negotiated with Iran. We've heard so many options for nearly 1,000 pounds of enriched uranium. Sometimes we're hearing that it'll be handed over to a third party. Sometimes it'll be handed over to the United States. Sometimes we hear that it's going to be diluted. Will the United States be part of that process? It's unclear. None of it has been agreed to in writing at this point, and I think that's what's disconcerting to so many people, not only here in Israel, but in the region, because it leaves Iran's nuclear program essentially intact. And once they are given so much money, when they're able to sell their oil, because on day one of this deal, the Iranians will be able to sell their oil at higher prices, as we know, and make millions of dollars, really billions, and that will probably get poured right back into not only their conventional war machine, their missiles, their ballistic missiles, and rebuilding their Navy, but also their nuclear weapons program. Now, the president says that nuclear dust is going to come out, but it's unclear, again, how. And, the Iranians are known for dragging out negotiations for a very, very long time. 60 days will surely not be enough time to get a final deal on these nuclear matters. So that will probably be extended, and who knows how many extensions. And to be honest, there is a chance we won't get a deal between the U.S. and Iran. And then will President Trump follow through with renewing the war, let's say, in 6 months?
Jordana, what does this mean for the Strait of Hormuz?
So that's the only bit of good news. This deal will reopen the Strait of Hormuz, though it won't happen. It'll happen immediately, but traffic through the Strait of Hormuz will not reach pre-war levels for some time. It'll probably take, several weeks. Remember, also, the Iranians have mined the Strait of Hormuz, so that demining is going to take some time to open all the lanes. But eventually, the hope is that within several weeks, we could see, again, close to 100 vessels going in and out of the Strait of Hormuz. Will it be free? I mean, the Iranians are still talking about a fee or a tax or a toll, but the president says it'll be free. We'll have to wait and see.
Talk to us about the situation with Israel and Lebanon. What is the likelihood that in this sort of deal that Israel would not or agree to not attack Lebanese Hezbollah fighters?
Well, I think that's a pipe dream to expect the Israelis not to hit Iran's most powerful proxy that has been attacking Israel consistently since October 7th, minus about a year when there was a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon that the U.S. brokered. But since Operation Epic Fury, Hezbollah has been attacking northern Israel. And I think it's going to be almost impossible to ask the Israelis not to hit Hezbollah. And that's even if Hezbollah is not actively attacking Israel. Israel will see Hezbollah trying to regroup and rebuild and rearm, and they will want to take action. And it's hard to see how the president's going to stop them when that is in Israel's national security interests. In terms of the deal, this memorandum of understanding, there obviously is a lot of deep disappointment here in Israel, not only among in the government, but among the people here, that this country was virtually held hostage for 6 weeks of a war and then another, 8 weeks of this negotiation. And in the end of it, there's still a nuclear threat to, Iran still poses a nuclear threat to Israel. And there's no mention of any limit on its ballistic missile capabilities, which is also a threat to Israel, or its support of proxies. So, for Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, this is really a resounding strategic failure. And I think we're going to see that play out in the election in a few months.
That's ABC's Jordana Miller in Jerusalem.
Anthropic says it's taken its newest AI models offline following a Trump administration directive to ban their use by foreigners. Here's ABC White House correspondent Selena Wang.
There was an earlier version of Mythos called Mythos Preview that had alarmed Washington and Wall Street when it was unveiled back in April over concerns that it could be used by hackers to break into financial and healthcare networks. So Anthropic only rolled that out to a small group of trusted partners under this program called Project Glasswing, which was done in collaboration with the U.S. government. So Anthropic's argument is that they've been working with the U.S. government leading up to this rollout to the general public.
Federal investigators begin work today at the scene of a deadly skydiving plane crash in Missouri. 12 people were killed when the plane went down. Happened shortly after taking off from the Butler Memorial Airport about 65 miles south of Kansas City. Local officials say there's no evidence of criminal activity or terrorism. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
The small skydiving plane was carrying 9 experienced skydivers, 2 tandem jumpers, and a pilot. A man who wants to remain anonymous says his son was on the plane.
He's probably got 400 or 500 jumps, and he's just something he'd love to do, and just never start the morning thinking you're going to die.
It remains unclear what caused the plane to crash. The company operating the flight, Skydive Kansas City, says it's cooperating with local and federal authorities.
The FDA, medical professionals, and the company that makes Benadryl are warning teens and parents about the potentially deadly risk posed by a new TikTok challenge. ABC's Jim Ryan says it's already claimed lives.
The viral dare posted to social media encourages young people to take up to 25 Benadryl tablets at once to achieve a euphoric high, even hallucinations. Richard Preston's daughter tried it last week.
She was perfectly fine Sunday. Within 24 hours, she's laying lifeless.
Hundreds of kids have been hospitalized after overdosing on the over-the-counter allergy medication. At least 5 have died since the TikTok challenge was first issued in 2020. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
It's coming up on 8:23. We check traffic on the 3s. Sully's off this morning, so we say hello to Ted Beener.
And I'm pinch hitting for him. This traffic report is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Well, 167, that pauses at times from State Route 18 to Willis in Kent. Northbound 405 has got brake lights from the West Valley Highway to past I-90. And northbound I-5 has got some slowing as you approach the DuPont JBLM gate from Midway to past 200th and again from Albro into downtown. Now, coming in from the north end, southbound I-5 has got some slowing from the 405 split down into Shoreline and from Lake City Way across the Ship Canal Bridge. And southbound 405, Lots of crowding from Canyon Park to the 160th interchange, and again slows from 85th down to 520. The Narrows and Lake Bridges are doing well. Some drive times. Arlington to Everett is under 15 minutes. Everett to Seattle is east to 35 minutes, while Everett to Bellevue is 46 minutes. On northbound I-5, Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM is 47 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle has improved to 55 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time has dropped to 35 minutes, and that drive from Renton to Bellevue is now 40 minutes. That's about a 5-minute delay. Considering a new carrier cooling system before the next summer heat wave? Get a price estimate on your phone in 60 seconds from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com now. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Beamer.
One more hot day. We are expecting a high of 90 today. Some high clouds rolling in, 59 overnight. And then tomorrow and Wednesday, very nice, back to the mid-70s with lots of sunshine. Thursday and Friday, closer to 80. Right now in Seattle, sunshine and 67.
Coming up, we will head to the Stadium District ahead of today's World Cup match between Egypt and Belgium.
Also, it was a record-breaking weekend for us when it comes to temperatures. Ted Beaner will give us the breakdown and let us know what to expect from the weather this week.
This is Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence and Investigative Reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, "I understand there may be a news story coming out."
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Sometimes injuries can happen when you least expect them.
What broke my shoulder was reaching for my phone. I was trying to get the phone away from my cat.
That's how Heather tore her rotator cuff.
There was that hope. I was like, maybe this will heal on its own. And I waited a little bit, and it was not getting better.
She just couldn't take the pain anymore, so she saw Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
By the next day, my shoulder was already doing better. I have my arm back again, which was just wonderful.
Seems like she made the right choice.
I'm so glad I didn't do surgery.
So whether it's a hip like mine or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
I said to him at our last appointment, I was like, you better not retire because I want to know if anything else goes wrong with my body. You're there to be able to fix it because he's a miracle worker.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we understand improving your home is an investment in your family, and we're here to help make it easier. With our flexible financing, keeping your family safe, comfortable, and dry has never been more affordable. For more than 20 years, Guardian has earned the trust of thousands of homeowners across the Pacific Northwest with a reputation for quality that lasts. So why wait? Start guarding your home today. Call or visit guardianroofing.com.
Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery and she was home the next day. But we weren't sure if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that she needed, so we called Ageless Living and asked about respite care. A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Ageless Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and schedule a visit. It can be a much-needed break for a caregiver and a chance for you and your family to get a look and a taste of what Ageless Living offers. That's agelessliving.com/spike.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hartley Wilcox here. For over 100 years, my family has been committed to doing what's right. We believe food should be honest and wholesome. At Wilcox Farms, that starts with caring for our hens. They roam healthy pastures and enjoy a diet of organic grains and flaxseed. Why does that matter? Because what hens eat determines the quality of the eggs you eat. Our nature-first approach means vibrant golden yolks, richer flavor, and higher omega-3s for your family's health. When you choose Wilcox, you're not just buying eggs. You're supporting a farm that values animal welfare, sustainability, and community. It's real nutrition, real care, and real value. So next time you're at the egg case, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Taste the difference that starts with what our hens eat. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Costs are up, but life doesn't have to slow down. Subaru of Puyallup has fuel-efficient, all-wheel drive models meant for summer road trips. Experience the redesigned Subaru Outback. Bold, safe, more capable. For stress-free pricing and offers, visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
At Madrona Financial and CPAs, we believe there are 7 steps that must be taken in preparation for a successful retirement. Retirement needs more than just a basic income plan. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:30. Well, Seattle is welcoming the world this morning as the very first World Cup match kicks off at noon.
Thousands of fans are at Seattle Stadium, used to be known as Lumen Field, or they're on their way. Gates open in 29 minutes. KIRO News Radio's John Repp joins us live with the latest. John?
And Charlie, it is growing more crowded by the minute, from the volunteers to the vendors to the security. There are crowd gates that are being put up as we speak. And then you have people with jerseys of all different countries, but especially Egypt and Belgium. Of course, those are the 2 teams that are playing here at noon today. And it's really interesting. I've been spending the past half an hour just talking with fans, and there are some who are here from out of town. I talked with somebody who is from Egypt, and I said, I'm with KIRO Radio, and he was like, oh, wow, with KIRO. And I was like, well, not C-A-I-R-O, but K-I-R-O, and but he was very excited to talk to me. So all these fans are here, but imagine this. Imagine if you're a volunteer. Thousands of people who have signed up to make this event happen. I talked with one person who got selected and says he is excited, but he's also nervous.
I've been following soccer for like 18 years. I'm a big Argentina and Messi fan. So I love soccer. I watch all the tournaments. So I'm super excited to be a part of it and see how it works from the inside.
He has some civic pride here as well. He says that Seattle is his home, and he really wants it to show up well for the rest of the world.
I mean, I never thought I would be in a city where the World Cup is happening, so super excited to give back and help out and help make it like a beautiful experience for everyone.
And what's really interesting is I'm seeing families here, watching a family walk by with 3 kids. They have their faces all painted up with looks like the Egyptian flag. And then you have some longtime soccer fans. I just talked with 3 guys from Belgium who have literally flown across the world from Belgium to be here today. He says, win or lose, they're just here to party and have a great time. And he was really impressed with Seattle and ready to walk in and kick off the celebration in just a couple of minutes. Charlie, Amanda?
100,000 people are expected in the stadium district today.
Yeah.
John,
it's going to be huge, guys. Yeah.
I was going to bring up that I think marketing-wise, I kind of blew it, right? Because here we are, we've got all these cities across the world, or across the country, which are adopting national teams. We at KIRO could have adopted the Egyptian national team. They're playing 2 games here. Maybe there's still time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told him I would talk to my people about this.
Okay, all right.
Consider yourself on notice.
Seems like a natural fit. John Rapp reporting live from the Stadium District.
Thank you. Now I know who I'm going to root for today.
Let's go KIRO.
Yeah. It's 8:33, time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. And Ted Biener's in for Sully.
Thanks, Manda. There are the usual slowdowns. Nothing you can't handle. For example, driving in from the north end, southbound I-5 is overall in good shape, while southbound 405 has got slowing from Canyon Park to the 160th interchange and again from 85th down to 520. Coming in from the south end, northbound 405, that is sluggish at times from 167 all the way past I-90. And northbound I-5 has got occasional slowing from Marvin Road to DuPont, from 512 down up to State Route 16, and from Albro into downtown. The Narrows and Lake Bridges are doing well. Drive times, Auburn to Renton is 27 minutes. That's about a 10-minute delay. Renton to Bellevue is 40 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is 52 minutes. That's a 10-minute delay, and 30 of those are from South Center. Coming in from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle is improved to 32 minutes, while Everett to Bellevue, that is 45 minutes. I'm Ted Biener with KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic.
And it's sunny and 69 in Seattle right now.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Do you think we can make it stay 67 for the rest of the day?
I don't think that's possible, Amanda.
Nope, we're shooting for a high of 90 for today.
Yeah.
And yes, we did break a record yesterday.
We did. I'm sure you felt it. Our Ted Biener is here, KIRO Newsradio meteorologist. In addition to being a traffic guy, we broke those records. It was so hot where I was out in the Maple Valley area yesterday. What are we looking at in terms of temperatures that got broken? Temper records, I should say.
Yeah, well, let's start with SeaTac Airport. They hit 89 yesterday, and their record was 86 back in 1988. Okay. Olympia hit 92, so you were probably down in the Auburn area, right around that same mark. Their old record was 88, also set in 1988. Payne Field, that's a pretty cool place. The old record was 77, set in 1999.
77?
77 for the date, yeah. And they hit 82. And Bellingham just barely beat their record. They hit 84. The old record was 83, also set in 1988. So we got some more records in sight for today. SeaTac, it's only 88. And Olympia also 88 back. Both of those are 1963. It's only 78 for the record at Payne Field up in Everett. And 82 up in Bellingham. That record is going to be pretty close today, as Nick was talking about earlier.
Is it early in the year to be busting these records?
Absolutely. You look at the first half of June, and all the records going back, we've only had about 7% of the days that reach the 90-degree mark. So it's pretty unusual. Just remember, back in 2021, 5 years ago, we had that heat dome in the latter part of June. What I'm concerned about is, well, think of this as a dress rehearsal for what we may have later this summer.
So one of the things is, as you mentioned that, we have, it's officially an El Nino now, according to the Weather Service. I don't know who makes the official prognostication, but this could be kind of a strong one. What are some of the implications if here we are, it's early June, and we're calling it an El Nino now?
Yeah, which is pretty early. Later this week, the National Weather Service's Climate Prediction Center will have their updated, every third Thursday, they put out their latest seasonal weather outlook. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll report on that here later this week. But right now, it's still good odds for warmer and drier than average conditions. We've had that basically all so far this century. We're essentially a quarter of the way through the century at this point. So I'm looking for more of the warm, dry conditions and more of these hot temperatures. Everybody just needs to get ready for it.
Yeah. There was a tragedy on Lake Sammamish over the weekend, a couple of river rescues as well. So I want to go ahead and let you give your annual warning.
Give my spiel if you wish. It may be warm outside, but those waters are still cold. So the rivers are running in the 50s, basically speaking. Puget Sound, it's only about 52, 53 degrees. And our lakes like Lake Union, Lake Sammamish, Lake Washington, mid 50s up to the lower 60s. And remember, you only have to go a few feet lower if you drop into the water, and it's a lot colder just a couple of feet down. So that's that cold water immersion factor. It's just like walking into a cold shower and you gasp, except in this case, you're taking in water instead of air.
And how unusual is it, Ted? Because you and I basically talked about this heat, this high heat, like 2 weeks ago. Like models were showing it then. Are our forecasting abilities just getting that much better?
They're getting a lot better. If you compare this to maybe 2 decades ago, we're light years ahead at this particular point. Are they perfect? No. In fact, I challenge everybody, compare your smartphone forecast from T-Mobile and Verizon and any others that are out there. Look 5 days in advance, and you're going to get a little bit different forecast here. So, but the good news for you, Amanda, we're going to have that onshore flow coming back in. Nature's air conditioning kicking in for tomorrow all the way through the rest.
75 tomorrow.
Yeah, if you can handle 75 to 80 for the rest of the week, I think we're all going to be much happier.
Awesome. All right. Well, we have that forecast. What's coming up in traffic?
Right now, we don't have any crashes, but I do have slowdowns. I'll talk more about that in just a few moments.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Let's say you get into a car accident. You end up getting hurt. You're missing work, and now the insurance company wants you to handle the paperwork yourself while you're still recovering. Here's what happens when you go it alone. They throw out a lowball offer. You're on defense from minute one, and you're scraping for a fair shake against people who do this for a living. But here's what happens when you call Harold Carr Law Offices. They handle everything. The paperwork, the negotiation, the insurance company, all of it. You focus on getting better. They focus on getting you what you actually deserve. And trust me, that number is almost always higher than what you would have walked away with on your own. 7 locations across Western Washington, a huge qualified team, and a free consultation at carlaw.com. Carr is spelled with 2 R's, C-A-R-R. They'll actually listen to you and give you an honest assessment without any pressure. That's carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr. C-A-R-R. carlaw.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all 3 like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
8:43 now. Traffic on the 3s with Ted Beener.
All right, this traffic report is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Well, we don't have any reported blocking issues. Always good news, but we do have some slowing. For instance, northbound 167 pauses at times from State Route 18 to 405. Northbound 405 has got brake lights from 167 to past I-90. And northbound I-5 has slowing from the Nisqually River to the DuPont JBLM gate area, from 512 to 38th Street there in Tacoma, and again from Albro into downtown. Coming in from the north end, southbound I-5 has really opened up at this point. In the meantime, southbound 405 still has some crowding from Canyon Park to the 160th interchange, and again slows from about 85th down to 520. The Narrows and Lake Bridges are doing well. Now, some drive times, Everett to Seattle, that is eased to just a half hour. Really good. While Everett to Bellevue, that is down to 40 minutes. Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM, that is 47 minutes. While Tacoma to Seattle has improved to 50 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time is 40 minutes, and that drive from Renton to Bellevue is 36 minutes. Subaru of Puyallup has dependable, fuel-efficient, all-wheel drive models, including the redesigned Subaru Outback. Find stress-free pricing and offers at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic.
Our forecast, as we mentioned, we will likely break another record today. We're headed for a high of 90. Overnight low 59. If that's too hot for you, we'll cool off tomorrow. Partly sunny, 75. Looks like that'll be the case for the bulk of the week. Maybe a little bit warmer, around 80 for Thursday and Friday, but nothing but sunshine. Right now, sunny and 67 in Seattle.
Coming up, summer has arrived, and there's one Seattle beach that has been the cause of a lot of discussion. Angela Poe Russell has been there. Denny Blaine Park. She'll join us next with an update on the discussion there here on Seattle's Morning News.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
The throw at first, and it's in time. Holy smokes, what a play by J.P. Crawford.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But if you're looking for a truly golden view, look no further than the seats on the first baseline, a.k.a. Trident Town. Post up behind the Mariners dugout, and you get a great view of Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, and our entire rotation at work.
Swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs, blew it by him, strike three.
Not to mention the best view of the best home run celebration in baseball. When the Trident goes up, you know a party's going down.
It is gone! Julio!
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss the Mariners take on the Red Sox this weekend. The fun kicks off with a fireworks night on Friday presented by T-Mobile. Then take Dad to a game for Father's Day weekend, featuring a special ballpark-wide celebration on Sunday presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, joining us now from the G and Ursula show, filling in this week, we have singer, playwright, creator of Aviatrix, which just joined us, which just finished his run at the Seattle Public Theater.
Yes.
Angela Poe Russell,
Well,
good morning.
Woman of many, many talents.
You just never know what I have up my sleeve, right?
Can you believe the run's over? How did it go?
Oh, wow. It went so great. And it was awesome having so many radio listeners, KIRO listeners come through. And I think what feels like a win for me is people leaving saying that they felt inspired.
That's awesome.
And that feels really good.
What's next for it?
Ooh, who knows? I mean, hopefully going to some other theaters, other cities, so that other people can experience the story. So.
Amanda, you asked all those questions just because you didn't want to ask Angela about going to a nude beach,
Was
right?
this a delay tactic?
Why did you go to a nude beach?
Curiosity. Okay, so it had to do with we kept covering the story. And as you all know, there's nothing like going to the actual scene of what is the topic of news.
Denny Blaine Park.
Denny Blaine Park. Yes, this is something we've been talking about for years,
Yes.
right? Homeowners saying this is awful, what we're witnessing. People saying we have had this space for years. There's nothing going on. We're just enjoying ourselves out, without clothes.
Frolicking.
And without clothes. And so G and it was one of those things we were like, okay, we keep talking about it. Let's go see for ourselves what is going on. So I was like, can I tag along? And that's how it happened. So we met up there, and there were some unforgettable memories. But I have to say,
was this gonzo journalism? I mean, were you all out at the beach, or are you like looking over like a fence?
No, we actually went beyond the fence.
Okay.
So the time we went there was when they had installed that partition.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually, seeing it in person, I thought it was a great compromise. I said, you know what? If this partition wasn't there, I could actually see the issue, because you could be walking by and just see stuff you don't want to see. I thought it was a great compromise.
Yeah.
The issue that I saw while visiting is that there were people, nude bathers, who were coming from behind it still nude. And that wasn't, I think, the intent. But the reality is, it's not a crime necessarily to be nude in the city in this context. But it's the accusation that something more is happening is where this lawsuit comes in.
And did you see any of that?
I didn't see anything other than people being nude, but it was the middle of the day and we were there, and I'm sure we stuck out like a sore thumb. I did think it was interesting. There were, I don't know, is this interesting? But there were a lot of single people there. Like, you know how you go to the beach and you might go with your friends or whatever, but there were people that were there reading a book, but they're naked reading a book. And that's not a crime.
Yeah.
But if these homeowners, and so I don't know if we set up the story, but the story is that there is a judge ruling on this case coming up, and maybe you all have talked about that today. So the question is, if these homeowners have video or evidence that something more is happening than just you being naked, then this could be a case of a few people ruining it for everybody.
Yeah, I would assume they do have video, because they've really been fighting this for years.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that one of the arguments that was made during this trial was that nudity, being nude in this context, is actually good for your mental health?
Go on.
Please do tell.
Well, of course, I had, again, being curious, I was like, is this true? And sure enough, I did do a little bit of digging, and there is some evidence that it's good for your self-esteem and self-worth. And
I'm going to pass.
My 18-month-old sure loves being naked. I think it's good for her mental
see,
health.
and we
running
steal
around.
that freedom away from them by saying you must wear clothes. I mean, the thing is, I've always thought, okay, especially my younger day, I'm like, oh, that would be fun to kind of go do that once or whatever. But I definitely don't want to make other people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it seems like in this case, if they stay in this area, it's been a hub for community. I think it's great for them to have it, but you can't have people crossing the line and going, we all have to live together.
Were you comfortable?
I mean, no. I mean, you're not comfortable because I'm like, no, because I wasn't there part of the party. I'm sure if I was there is to be part of the nude, but it doesn't mean they shouldn't have to be there.
No dangling interest to go there is what you're saying.
Charlie. Good heavens.
What?
Like, I did find myself looking away, but that doesn't take away their right to enjoy themselves in that context.
What did you learn?
And I was behind.
What's the takeaway?
I think my takeaway is that, unfortunately, there are always a few people that could ruin it for everybody else. I do not think everybody there is engaging in conduct that would be illegal, But I think a few people doing it create the problem, and I think that's unfortunate.
Yeah, especially if you're a neighbor and you hear about these acts that are happening within view of their homes. It's just like, get it together.
Yeah, as I said, I don't think that's everybody.
Of course.
That's in so many cases, right?
So if it's 1%,
yep, it's
there
unfortunate.
you go.
All right. When do we expect the judge to rule? Do you know?
I want to say it could be sometime today, but definitely. Okay, I never want to say definitely, but I think it's going to drop today or sometime later this week.
Going to drop. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Are you going to watch the World Cup while you're on the air?
I'm actually not today. My husband is going, and I knew I had to work, so I couldn't go. But I am going to a game next week.
Oh, fun!
Yeah. So were you guys able to get tickets?
No.
Okay.
No.
We're not that cool.
Listen, we just had someone who had gotten lucky in the lottery, and they invited us. So
I will say the city has cleaned up nicely. I mean,
we do that well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was coming through. I was thinking this morning, driving through the Mercer Tunnel off of I-5, all the graffiti is gone. Heavens,
No way.
They've even cleaned up all the graffiti that goes down Mercer Street as you get out of the tunnel. It's nice and clean. I'm sure the
No
city's going to
way.
keep it up just like this from now on.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Dream a dream.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Angela's filling in on the G and Ursula show 9 to noon.
Ted Beener is here with traffic on the 3. Take it away, Ted.
All righty, this traffic report is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Traffic volumes are dropping. We still have some slowdowns, though. For example, driving in from the north end, southbound I-5 has some slowing as you go through Linwood. Otherwise, it's moving well. Southbound 405 is also thinned out. Coming in from the south end, northbound I-5 has got occasional slowing from Marvin Road to DuPont, from 512 to near 38th in Tacoma, down the South Center Hill, and from Albro into downtown. Northbound 405 has got some brake lights at times from the Renton curves to past I-90. Drive times, Auburn to Renton, that's 30 minutes. That's about a 15-minute delay. Renton to Bellevue is east to 30 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, that's 45 minutes, 10-minute delay. 26 of those are from South Center, and from Snohomish County, Everett to Seattle is down to 30 minutes, while Everett to Bellevue has improved to 40 minutes. Considering a new cooling system before the next summer heat wave? Get a price estimate on your phone in 60 seconds from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com now. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Ted Beener.
One more hot day. We'll see some high clouds and the sunshine. 90 for today. If that's too hot, we'll cool way down to 75 for tomorrow and Wednesday. Lots of sunshine for the week. No rain in the forecast for the foreseeable future. Thursday and Friday, just a tad warmer. We'll be on either side of 80. Right now in Seattle, sunshine and 67.
Well, the G and Ursula show is coming up next, and two of my favorites are filling in, Angela Poe Russell and Greg Tomlin. They'll be talking about Bellevue residents already filing complaints about the new light rail over the lake. Angela and Greg will discuss that coming up.
And you can always weigh in on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476.
And remember to like and subscribe our YouTube Live. We're at KIRO News Radio. This is Seattle's Morning News.
Are you a homeowner, 62 or older, and realize that your Social Security and other income may not carry you through your retirement years? Have you ever thought about a reverse mortgage? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at Tila Mortgage, a local company serving Washington residents for 30 years. And if you want to know how a reverse mortgage works or have questions like, are reverse mortgages safe? Will I still own my home? Or do I really have the option of not making monthly mortgage payments? Call Tila for a no-pressure conversation. They'll answer your questions with personalized recommendations and loan options that can safely help you improve your monthly cash flow, increase your available income, pay off debt, or make home improvements. Call Tila today. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
It is summertime, which means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, fun with the family. And Brad, I'll bet it's easier to pay for with free checking from WaFd Bank.
That's right, Dave. Set your financial goals and stick to them with free checking. No minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Hey, you'll also get spending tools to help you stay on top of your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank rated the best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states.
And tell me more about this card control feature I've heard so much about.
Dave, you can view transactions for individual cards, set controls and alerts, and if you forget your card at the restaurant, you can instantly turn it off while you go back to get it. You'll also have access to free tools like Zelle, mobile check deposit, and when those unfortunate times happen, submit fraud disputes right inside the WAFED mobile app.
And don't forget, you can choose from some great-looking debit cards, including Seattle Kraken and Seattle Seawolves cards. So visit wafedbank.com and open your account today. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 22nd, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week with new home communities from Lacey